As soon as I could.
Some beer for the ladies.
McHale, you have the distinction of commanding the biggest pack of mashers, cutthroats, and brigands since Genghis Khan.
Yeah, they sure are a bunch of charm boys, aren't they? Oh, come on now, Captain. The boys are going island happy. There's nothing to do on that rock. They're bored.
Bored? How could those bandits of yours possibly be bored? Why, they've taken so many rides in the paddy wagon, I'm thinking of making them honorary members of the Shore Patrol. Cut it out.
Yes, sir.
Pulling that false air raid alarm last night, that was absolutely outrageous. I'm going to buck this right on up to the admiral.
Well, that's your privilege, Captain. But I still don't think it's fair to keep him on restriction for so long.
Oh, you don't, huh? Well, if it was up to me, I'd throw you all in the brig and I'd melt the key. But I can't. Now, McHale, I've got a mission for you. It's reconnaissance on the island of Tuvalagi. And if you and your men don't start acting Navy, so help me, Nimitz, But you'd better believe it. I will.
Come on, Drew, turn it off.
Look, I picked up the wrong can. It looked like a picture about dames. Fooled me. Penelope of Blueberry Hill.
Yeah, but how much can we take? We've seen it 7 times.
We've seen it 8 times, but who counts?
I like it. Ah, you like raw fish, too.
Hey, how about little Dolly Dumpling? Son of the monster?
That's a good action.
Hey, is it my fault we're restricted? It was your idea to raid the nurses' quarters.
Well, you didn't squawk when you had your arms around that stacked plot.
Yeah, what a time for those SPs to come in, right in mid-pocket.
Oh, excuse us, Skip. We thought you was an officer.
The uniform fooled you, huh? Well, don't let it happen again.
Skip, what happened? What'd the captain say?
Well, I thought for a minute they was going to pop his braid. You should have heard him. McHale, you have the distinction of commanding the greatest pack of mashers, cutthroats, and brigands since Genghis Khan. Unquote.
Genghis Khan? What outfit's he with?
He's that tall, skinny guy in the medics.
We're still on restriction?
Did you talk him out of it? What's the captain gonna do to us, Skip?
Well, if Binghamton had his way, he'd ship me back to my old steamer and turn the rest of you guys into deckhands on a live bait barge. However, unfortunately, he needs us. We're going on a mission.
Hey!
Tuvalagi.
Tuvalagi? Is that one of ours?
Well, up to last week, it belonged to the Goonie birds. But a small party of nips snuck in and pushed the Goonies off. Hold it. There'll be no fighting this trip. Our mission is strictly to observe See what kind of hanky-panky's going on in that little anthill.
I think we were better off with Boop Boop. Did him, done him, what him, chew.
Mr. Skip, before we shove off, could we please get some new movies?
How about that?
Well, if there's any movies on the base, I'll get them. I think Genghis Khan would have done the same for his bunch of cutthroats.
Hey, Lieutenant. Thought you said they didn't have any new ones. Get a load of this. 30 seconds over Tokyo. Action in the North Atlantic.
Dawn Patrol with Errol Flynn.
Sorry, gents, those were already spoken for.
Who? Whom?
Come on.
Let me reason with him. One-handed showdown, little gin rummy, club yash, anything.
Captain Binghamton does not play cards with enlisted men. And what's more, he's been waiting for Errol Flynn and Humphrey Bogart for 6 months now.
Look. Come here. Can't you stall him for a few weeks? He just loved Penelope of Blueberry Hill.
Forget it.
Hey, Lieutenant. How long have you had that 50-cent piece in your ear?
What?
How about that?
It's a silver dollar. Look, I saw this in an old George Raft movie. Watch this.
Now I know what killed vaudeville.
Thank you.
The hand is slower than the eye. Anything else, Commander?
Yeah, but yes. As a matter of fact, there is. I'd like a half dozen boxes of those things right up there.
What?
For those gizmos right up on top over there. You know, the guys are wild about them. Yeah, sure they are. Yeah. That's just 6 boxes of those. That's right. That's good. Yes, sir.
You guys are wild about these?
Uh-huh. I couldn't get along without them.
Garter belts?
Yes, for trading with the natives. They make the craziest slingshots you ever saw. Yeah, well, okay, Lee. Thanks a million now. And,
Well, Carpenter, there goes boat 73 to Tuvallagi. Brave men. Brave men. Who knows if we'll ever see them again. Yes, Carpenter, the ancient sailors used to believe that the world was flat. Now just imagine, if that were so, a boat could sail right off the edge and drop out of sight. Oh, well. Go ahead.
Your movie, sir.
Oh, it's about time. You know, Lieutenant, I once met Humphrey Bogart in person. Oh, he was tough as nails, that fellow. He was all business. Would have made a dandy Navy man. Dandy. Wait a minute. What is Penelope doing in here with the son of the monster? Matter of fact, what is the son of the monster doing in here at all? Where's my Bogart, my Flynn, my John Wayne? Where?
I don't understand, Captain. I had him right on the counter when Commander McHale came in.
McHale? Come back here with my movies, you cowards! Hey, fellas, hold it. Hey, look at the captain's waving bye-bye. Wave bye-bye, men. Bye! I could just scream.
You realize how long Skipper and Willie have been out there?
Since 7:30.
Can't you even talk, Navy? They've been out there since 7 bells.
All right, Mr. Parker, since 7 bells. What time is it now?
It's 11:30. Oh, I bet they're lost.
Not the skipper. Why, he knows these islands like I know Bensonhurst. Blindfold me anywhere in Brooklyn, and I can tell from the smell what block I'm getting mugged in.
Boy, suppose the nips got him.
Ah, so those Japanese sneaky fellas. They walk jungle with no sound.
Boy, do you realize at this very minute that Skipper might be undergoing some devilish torture?
Oh, now explain the joke to me, Skip.
Later, Willie, later. Ho, slow down, boy, slow down. How many? Haku.
Miracle. What's it mean?
We're surrounded by armed men. Come on, Willie.
Hey, hi, Skip. How are you? Boy, are we worried about you.
Thanks. What was all that jabbering?
Fuji taught it to me. It's Japanese for come out with your hands up and meet your ancestors.
You almost had the pleasure. Come on. Hey, you guys. Say hello to an old and good friend, Chief Maku.
Hi, Chief. Yachimash.
Ilahoko atabu katakala ilamama subalago.
What do you say?
Well, the chief says that he greets you as the lagoon greets the morning sun and begs you to treat Tuvalagi as your own home.
Hi, my name's George Christopher. Just call me Christy. Ichimaka hila hakahubu. Oh.
And the chief also says that the first gentleman who touches one of his daughters gets shish kebabs with the pig sticker.
I didn't touch her. Tell him I didn't touch her.
Nice work, Crazy Legs. Oh, yeah, before I forget. When we get back to the boat, radio the captain. He was wrong about that small party of nips here on Tuvalagi.
Oh, boy, that's good news.
There's a whole company of 130.
130. What do we do?
Well, we just sit back and relax and observe. That's what we're here for.
Yeah, but what about the Japs?
Well, let them get their own dames.
Come on, Chief. There ain't nothing to worry about, Happy. There's a whole mountain between us. Critters are clear on the other side of the island.
Hey, Mr. Parker, in your message to old Iron Bottom, add a P.S. Regards to Penelope and all the girls on Blueberry Hill.
On that message, a P.S. to
Boop boop da-dum da-dum, want 'em chew.
Morning report, sir. Nice to see you in such a good mood, sir.
Good mood? Why would you say a thing like that?
You were singing.
I can't help it. I can't get that blasted song out of my head, and as a matter of fact, I'm in a foul mood this morning. I've run out of marmalade for my tea.
That supply convoy should be here. I wonder what's holding it up.
Well, there were headwinds, Carpenter. Headwinds and heavy seas. The last reports I got, they were battened down somewhere around in there. That'd be 3 days away. And they swam all over the dam. Oh, brother.
Bad news?
No, it's that song again. Oh, what's this? Subject enemy troop movements on Tuvalagi. Oh. Last night, the rains came, and with the rains, the enemy. 6 additional platoons of infantry plus 4 light artillery pieces. Although our supplies run low, our morale runs high. We intrepidly await your command. Oh, I tell you, that Ensign Parker and his purple prose... Artillery?
That could be trouble, sir.
Trouble? This is a disaster. Do you know what those guns could do to that convoy?
Oh, yes, sir. They could really homogenize your marmalade, sir.
Nobody likes a smart lieutenant. That convoy will be sitting ducks under those guns. And I don't dare break radio silence to warn them because it'll give away their position. I'll have to ask McHale to help us.
And you want the little dolly dumpling.
Pretty good picture, eh, Skipper?
I've never seen John Wayne braver.
Skipper, I got your back. Skipper? I got a message from Binghamton.
Oh?
He says that there's a convoy coming through the straits. Get down. Coming through the straits tonight at 12 o'clock. That's 2 hours from now.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but Skip, with those nip guns up on the cliff, if we don't do something, that convoy's gonna be sunk.
Oh, what's the captain have in mind?
Well, he says protect convoy at all costs.
Anything else?
Well, he says good luck, but we need more than that. We need help.
Nah. No, Binghamton would have sent it if he had it. Now, what we need is something to decoy him from it. That's it. That's it. We'll attack.
Attack! Attack 300 Japanese, and we've only got 8 men?
Well, you got more than 8 men, Chuck. Well, you got John and Humphrey and Errol. Huh.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's 11. Yeah.
Now, here we are, and here's the Japanese with their artillery. Now, they got their guns placed so they can fire on the convoy passing down through the straits. We got to get them to move their gun from here to here. To do this, we got to hit them with the works. Task Force Hollywood.
Yeah, but how do we know they have an observer at this end of the island to hear us?
Well, we saw one on our recon, holed up in a cave out on the point with a set of binoculars and a field telephone.
Right.
Oh,
You mean
man.
we're putting on this whole show for 1 century? Do you realize if this works, we'll make naval history?
Yeah, if it doesn't, we'll be naval history.
Boy, good old American know-how.
Yeah, you tell them, Chuck. Hey, Tink, you got everything all spliced together?
Get Skip ready to roll.
Good. Well, there you are, Chuck. How can we lose? Look who we got on our side. Errol Flynn and his Lafayette Escadrille Squadron. Humphrey Bogart and his Sherman tanks at Tobruk, and John Wayne with his Union cavalry.
And for an encore, the British fleet versus the German Navy in the Battle of the North Atlantic.
Plus, the entire and original cast of This Is the Army.
Gosh, I can hardly wait.
Popcorn, immediate seating in the loggia.
There you are, Chuck. You better get your front seat. Hey, and don't forget now, 3 blinks on the light, right?
Right.
Well, there you are, Tinker. All right, Gully. Hey, what's in this other reel?
Oh, this is all the love stuff and music I had left over after I spliced together the battle scenes.
Ah,
Well, Skip, we got everything unloaded.
good.
Unloaded. I wish I was loaded.
Ah, come on. Stop worrying. What are you worrying about? He can only live once.
I'm not scared of dying. I'm just scared of what Binghamton's gonna do to us when he finds out how I cut up his war movie.
All right, now take these horns out just as far as that wild stretch, right? All right, watch my signals. Go ahead. That's it. That's good, Groob. Okay. Hold it, Willie.
This is it! Fire torpedoes 1 and 2! Fire your forward guns! Fire depth charges 3 and 4!
Fire everything. All right, now bring in Errol Flynn and his Spads to soften up the beaches. Come on. All right, now, give me the British Navy with some offshore salvo.
One battle in the North Atlantic coming up.
Right. That's it. Okay, Tink. Sneak in the LSTs, and I want Humphrey Bogart with his Sherman tanks. All right, here they come.
There go the tanks ashore. They're gonna need covering bombardment. Fire torpedo!
Fire torpedo 1.
敵は相当の数だ。大砲を北から南へ移動。はっ。そうだ、あっちからです。
Hey, Tink, what's that?
Oh, here comes John Wayne and Vicksburg with the Union cavalry. Yippee! Charge!
Yankee.
Parker, we're out of ammo. Yeah, still no word from the Nips. Looks like a little diversion didn't work.
It worked! It worked! Yippee!
We're drawing their fire!
Hey, Skip, that was a real Jap shell.
Yeah, it's a near miss. If we want to get off this beach, we better get Tocho to lower his sights off our transportation. Put on that reel, Tink. Put it on.
Skip!
Stop arguing, will you? Put it on.
But, Skip,
Will you stop arguing? Put it on and loud, loud. Come on, will you? Hurry up, will you, Tink?
I'm hurrying.
Playmate, come on.
Tink,
I try to tell you, Skip, that was little Dolly Dumpling.
Jolly friend. She couldn't hide. It was a sunny.
I'm trying.
Before the Nips catch on, hurry up, will you? Oh, no, stop it, will you?
Playmates? Jolly friends?
Shogeki Kaishi! Shogeki Kaishi!
Cellar door, but we'll be jolly friends forevermore.
Hey, Skip, here comes the boat. Let's get out of here.
Hey, what about the projector?
Leave it! Come on, Skipper! Wait a minute. I can't leave that kid behind. There goes a great little trooper, fellas.
Officers and men about 73, the admiral has asked me to commend you for your ingenuity in carrying out what was the most difficult assignment in a most unorthodox manner. However, the convoy did get through safely, and I'd like to give you all what you so richly deserve.
Oh?
However, there's a regulation against it. Therefore, you'll all get 2 weeks shore leave.
We're ready, sir.
I'll be right in, Carpenter. Where was I?
You just rewarded us for 2 weeks shore leave, sir. Now, will that be Australia or New Caledonia?
I didn't finish. And for tearing up my war films, you can take your 2 weeks leave at your base across the bay. And if I catch one of you scoundrels on my island in the interim, I'll have you boiled in low-octane fuel oil. That is all.
What's the matter with him?
Hey, Skipper, some new stuff must have come in on the convoy. Get a load of this. A Bob Hope and a Betty Grable.
A Bob Hope? Shh, wait. Okay, you scoundrels, evacuate.
Pardon me, sir, but regulations regarding the borrowing of films without permission can be a rather... Too late.
Hey, Skipper!
Christy, by crying out loud, where did... Oh, no!
Hey, listen, Skip, we gotta talk to you.
No, not in broad daylight, you don't. Now, you two lovebirds have been pushing your luck as it is. Now, come on, Gloria, on your way.
Quinn, it's important.
Oh, listen, honey, you know how Binghamton feels about enlisted men and female officers that keep him company. If he were to find you two together, he'd hang you from a yardarm for two. Now, come on, Gloria, please, go.
Yeah, but that's just the point. She is going.
Good.
In 48 hours.
Oh, please, Quinn, I'm getting shipped out on the level.
Ah, you're kidding.
I'm being rotated back to the States.
That's why I've got to get permission to talk to the captain.
Sure, anything at all. You what?
Yeah, that's why I've got to talk to Binghamton. I thought maybe he'd give us permission to get married.
Married? Look, you better take him to sick bay. He's delirious.
I know it's against Navy policy and it's almost impossible, but Quinn, we've got to try something.
Ah, believe me, honey. The Japanese are more on your side than Binghamton.
Well, I got a chance anyway, Skip.
Oh, now, wait a minute now, Christy. Whoa, wait a minute, whoa. Oh, help!
What's going on, McHale? What are you doing here, Lieutenant?
Lieutenant Winter's just helping out, sir. My boy Christy here isn't feeling too well. How are you, boy? I think he got a kind of a pain in his stomach, sir. Yes, sir.
I just happened to be passing by and offered my assistance.
Yes.
Are you sure there's no hanky-panky going on here, McHale? I've had a report that one of your saltwater Romeos has been hanging around the nurses' quarters.
Oh, no. Hanky-panky with my men, with the nurses? Why, that's impossible, sir. I'm sure the thought never even entered their mind.
Let me see your tongue. Frankly, he doesn't look very sick to me.
Oh, well, take my word for it, Captain, he is. Why, if you'd heard him a couple of minutes ago, even you would agree he was out of his mind. Yes, sir.
I'll do what you can for him. If he gets any worse, put him in sick bay.
Yes, sir.
Carry on.
Yes, sir. Well, bye-bye, Captain. Bye. That was close. Come on. Now, listen, you two. You behave yourselves, and I'll see what I can do.
Oh, thank you.
You mean you'll talk to the captain for us?
Are you still out of your mind? Of course I won't go to Binghamton. We'll just have to figure out something. Now, come on, Christy. Let's get going. Wonder what kind of medal you get for seeing that kind of action.
Anything yet, Skip?
I'm thinking.
Hey, Skip, I got it.
What?
Here, shoot me.
What?
In the leg. Look, then that way I can get shipped back to the States, and while I'm recuperating, Gloria and I can get married.
Know that stuff, will you, mister? And secure what bird brains you do have. We gotta figure this thing out.
Yeah, but how? Everything's against us.
Well, we've broken rules and regulations before. There's a way to beat this one, too. Huh. Hey, that's it. Huh? The Padre.
The Padre?
Yeah, Father Nelson. He's a missionary. He used to try to save my soul every so often. He has a mission over on Kuakai, about 100 miles from here. You know something? I could sneak you and Gloria over there tomorrow night, get you hitched, and have you back here by dawn.
Oh, Skip, could you? Would you? Why, we'll name our first kid after you.
What?
Well, that's after we have one.
Oh, couldn't this be beautiful? Wouldn't old Brass and Brains really bust a gusset if he knew? We'll do it, boy! Only it's got to be kept a secret, see? Nobody else can know, but nobody.
I can tell Gloria, can't I?
Well, of course you can, nitwit. But nobody else. Or that ball and chain you're after will wind up around your neck.
Oh, yes, sir. I won't tell a soul.
Yeah, good boy. All right, now, beat it, will you, kid? I got a course to chart. On the sea of matrimony.
Okay, Fuji, baby, deal him.
Yeah, from the top this time, huh?
Hey, Groove, how much to rent your iron?
Same as always. $1 for the iron, 50 cents for the cord.
Oh, come on, Groove. Now, look, this is urgent.
I'm losing money, and he says it's urgent. What's so urgent?
Oh, I've got to press my whites, that's all.
Uh-huh. Something's up I don't know about. Now, give or no iron.
Oh, please.
Give. Watch my hand, Fooge.
Now, look, I'm not supposed to say anything, but Gloria and I are going to get married tomorrow, but it's got to be kept quiet.
You're kidding.
No. Honest. Yeah, the skipper's going to fix it. But please don't tell anybody, okay?
Of course not. Hey, you guys! It's hush-hush, but Christy here's getting hitched tomorrow.
Who is she?
Now, look. How big a wedding party did you figure on having cater? There used to be a maitre d', you know. Now, look, the deluxe dinner is, say, $5 a man. Fooge, go out and swipe some chicken somewhere, baby.
No, wait a minute. Look, it's just supposed to be me, Gloria, and the skipper, of course, but
You mean we're not invited?
You're getting married without us?
Gentlemen, I'm crushed.
Well, gee, fellas, it's not that I don't want you
getting
there.
married if it wasn't for me. Who introduced you to Gloria?
Well, you did, but you had to. You were stuck with 2 days.
Who delivered your love notes? And who sold you those bracelets you gave Gloria?
Oh, boy, is the skipper gonna blow his stack.
Oh, Christy, you got nothing to worry about. It's just going to be the immediate crew.
Yeah, buddy.
Foogie, baby, we got a menu to prepare. Willie!
Check. I'm brewing up a batch of the best champagne you ever tasted. Hey, what year should I make it?
Like in 1902, that was a pretty good year. And look, don't spare the bubbles. Happy?
Yeah.
See that the gentleman's wardrobe is neatly pressed and give him a good special job. He's a dear friend of mine.
Check.
And don't forget the wholesale rate.
Gotcha.
About the floral arrangements. At reasonable prices, of course. Surely you want a bridal bouquet, flowers for the table, boutonnieres for the gentleman, corsages for the young ladies, right?
Hi, Skip.
Hi.
Say, do you have any idea what all the excitement's about? All the preparations going on out there.
Who knows? It could be Gruber throwing one of his shindigs. It could be his June celebration of July 4th.
With a wedding cake?
Maybe it's a salute to June brides and... Did you say wedding cake?
Yeah. Real beauty, too. Boy, do you think that...
A wedding cake?
Yeah.
Fuji, what in blazes going on here?
Hey, what's a wedding cake for?
For a wedding party, what else? It's not a bar mitzvah.
Wedding party? Who said anything about having a wedding party?
Don't yell at me, Skipper-san. I only work here. He's the caterer.
Gruber!
Hey, I don't understand. Who's getting married?
Who said there'd be a wedding party?
Well, Christy told me you were helping him get married, so...
Christy's getting married? Hey, who's he getting married to?
And you decided to make a fast buck by turning it into a catered affair, huh?
Oh, no, Skipper, this may be hard to believe, but I'm doing it at cost. I'll be lucky if I break even.
Gruber, I'm putting you on notice right now. There'll be no wedding party.
Oh, but Skipper...
Will somebody please tell me who Christy's getting married to?
Gloria Winters. Now, you listen to me.
Gloria Winters. You mean Lieutenant Winters? She's getting married to an officer?
Yes.
Now listen, the captain's orders and naval regulations specifically
Oh,
say...
come on, Charlie. We've been through all that. Now, we haven't gone by the book so far. There's no reason to do it now, is there?
Well, why don't we ever try?
Look, then why can't we have a wedding party? We'll keep it quiet, and it'll make the kids real happy.
And you richer.
Oh, come on, Skipper. We can't let Christy get married without having his crew buddies there. Well, it'd be like not letting a guy's family come to his own wedding.
Well, I guess you guys have been through too much together to be shut out now. Okay. But everything is to be at cost, understand? No profit. And you gotta keep it quiet. There'll only be Gloria and Christy and the immediate crew. And nobody else. You understand? Nobody else.
No. Absolutely not. We will not have any ushers at this wedding. Molly, you're Gloria's commanding officer, and so I agree that you could be the maid of honor. But we will positively not have any ushers.
But Quint, the only way I could get the boys in the supply room to make the wedding dress was to invite them.
Wedding dress?
Besides, who's going to walk down the aisle with the bridesmaids?
What bridesmaids?
Well, Skipper, you said it was all right if I had my immediate crew, and, well, it's only fair that Gloria has hers.
After all, Quint, how many times does a girl get married?
Well, at the rate we're going, she won't even be married once if Binghamton finds out.
I just spotted a boat coming this way from Taratuba.
Oh, if it's Binghamton, we're dead.
What do we do?
We could invite him to the wedding. It might make him feel wanted.
Lieutenant Harris is pulling in, Skipper.
Lieutenant Harris, you sure it isn't Binghamton?
Oh, positive, sir.
Boy, I've heard of weddings being nervous, but this is ridiculous.
Look, get rid of him. Tell him anything, but don't let him see anything.
Oh, don't worry, Skipper. He knows all about it.
Good. He what? How did he find out?
Well, we had to invite him. The way the guest list has been growing, we needed another boat.
We're getting a regular wedding procession here.
When do we rendezvous with the rest of the fleet?
Rest of the fleet. Hey, what a catered affair that would make at $5 a head.
Oh, to hear you.
Hi, Commander.
Hello, Harris.
I just wanted to find out where you want my boat to rendezvous with yours tonight, sir.
Well, why don't you pull it up behind the aircraft carriers and the battle wagons that I'm expecting? Oh, here. Here's where we're going. To a little island called Kuakai.
Kuakai 島に陸戦隊を上陸する。Kuakai.
There, that should do it. Come on, Commander. Why can't Gloria model her own dress?
You know she only has a little time left to spend with Christy, and you're the only other size 8 available. Now, straighten up.
Be happy when you look at that. Ain't she beautiful?
Gorgeous. A sight to behold.
Why, she has everything a man could ask for.
Yeah. Muscles, a beard, a chest full of hair.
Very funny. Go on, beat it, you guys.
Come on, Verge. If there's one thing I can't stand, it's a dame like that who plays hard to get.
Come on, Tinker. Turn around and let me finish the back.
Guys wearing dresses.
How you like, Skipper-san?
Oh, well, take it easy with the icing, will you? Man, need another boat just to carry the cake. Ruby, you sure you don't have more people coming?
Oh, no, it's a closed affair now. Honest. 42 people, and that includes the bride and groom.
Well, I'm glad you were able to squeeze them in. Wouldn't seem like a wedding without them now, would it?
You got nothing to worry about. From here on in, everything's a breeze. An easy breeze.
Commander McHale! I just spotted Binghamton's boat coming, and this time it really is him.
Binghamton! Holy mackerel!
Binghamton's coming! Condition red!
Kate, knock it and go.
Condition red!
What's the matter with you? What do you want us to do? Out of here with those flowers! Come on!
I don't get it. How did Binghamton find out?
Are you kidding? You did everything to advertise this wedding, but a radio commercial. Get out of here! Tinker, you bird brain, get out of that dress, will you? Come on, will you move? Go on, back. You, Christy, for the love of Mike, will you wipe off that lipstick? Get Molly and Gloria out of here, quick! Hurry up! Come on!
What do you want me to do, Skipper-san?
Hightail it for the hills and then take that blasted cupcake with you. Hurry up! Come on, will you? Hi, Captain. Well, welcome aboard, sir. Well, welcome aboard.
Okay, McHale. Okay, what's going on?
What makes you think anything's going on, sir?
McHale, when I see that nothing is going on here, that's when I'm sure that something is going on here. Oh? Where is everybody?
The men are pretty busy, sir. They're checking their supply.
Keep out of this.
Would you care to step into my hut, sir?
The spider to the fly. Oh, no, McHale. If you want me in there, it's because you don't want me out here.
Oh?
So out here's where I intend to stay. In fact, I think I'll just do a little looking around.
But I'll die of suffocation.
Let's fight in the firing squad. Don't worry, honey. I'll leave it open for you to breathe through.
Somebody help me, I'm stuck.
You and your size 8. Why don't you get yourself a gun?
Quickly, some
Oh, not you.
Never mind, now get me out of here.
Oh, too late.
McHale, somehow you always manage to clear the decks just in time.
Oh.
What in the blue Pacific is going on in here? What are they doing with these dresses?
Well, you see, sir, they're preparing a show that the Special Service Officer is putting on. Yes, sir.
Special Service Officer?
Yes, sir. Ensign Parker. He's our Special Service Officer, and he's a whiz at this stuff, sir. Why, a regular Ziegfeld. Isn't that right, mister?
I am. I am, yes.
Oh, they all call me Ziggy.
All right, now, girls, or guys, now let's suit up and show the captain what we've all learned.
Now, let's go, Ziggy.
Right. 1, 2, 3, and.
Cut it out.
Keep your heads high.
I said cut it out.
He said cut it out.
Oh, shut up.
Well, it seems that the captain can't stay for the whole rehearsal, man. Captain, would you like to come down to mess hut and have a nice spot of coffee, sir?
I don't want any coffee. Take your hands off me.
Oh.
Whose bunk is this?
It's mine, sir.
Well, keep your sea bag under your bunk, sailor. Somebody's liable to trip on it this way.
Oh!
What was that?
Oh, well, that was me, sir. I still have that pain in my stomach, sir.
You still got that pain? I'll see Lieutenant Winters about it. She'll give you something for it. Oh, McHale.
Yes, sir.
I almost forgot why I came over here. There's been so much confusion.
Yes, sir.
I have a little invitation for you.
Oh?
I'm planning some exercises for tonight for the entire PT squadron.
Huh?
That may still bother you.
Tonight?
Yes, tonight. That is, if you don't have any other plans.
Oh, no, sir. No, sir. We're entirely at your disposal. Yes, sir.
That's very nice of you, McHale. I appreciate that. Now, I won't take up any more of your time. They need all the rehearsal they can get.
Yes, sir. Rehearsal.
That's settled then, is it, McHale? I'll see you in the Rockettes at 2100 hours.
2100, yes, sir. Bye-bye, sir. Bye. Bye.
Skipper, does that mean the wedding's off?
As off as it can get, Christy. I'm sorry, but, well, we almost made it.
Hey, let me out of here.
Holy smokes, you forgot the girls. Come on, Molly. There you are.
Why, that. Kicking a woman when she's down, too.
Here, honey. All right, put your feet down. Honey, we can't get married.
Oh, Chris.
Hold back the ocean, girl. We're not giving up the ship that fast.
Yeah, I'm afraid we're licked this time, Molly.
Not yet, we aren't. I think I've got an idea that can put old Binghamton on the rocks.
Honey, you get the captain out of the way and so help me, I'll kiss you.
Well, that's all right for openers. Man the boats, boys. I gotta get back to my battle station.
Come on.
I don't understand this. Why all of a sudden do I have to have a checkup?
Orders, Captain. Comfleet just sent down a request for immediate medical reports on all commanding officers.
Oh, it's 103, sir.
103? That's ridiculous. I don't have any fever.
Undoubtedly due to fatigue. Mental stress.
Undoubtedly.
But I feel fine.
Sorry, Captain. I'm afraid you're going to have to stay in the hospital for tonight, or I tell the Admiral.
I planned some exercises for tonight.
You're not exercising tonight. You're resting. You'll just have to cancel your plans. Now, I'll give you a little something that'll help you sleep, and the medical officer can give you a thorough exam in the morning.
I don't want that. Couldn't I just send my old x-rays over or something?
The Admiral wouldn't like that. Now, be a good captain and lie down and turn over.
I could just scream.
My golly, Molly, you really did it, honey. You really did it.
Are you sure the captain's out, Commander?
When I left, he was sleeping like a baby. Well, Quint, how about paying me off?
Later, Molly, later. Company's watching.
I sure hope the Padre will agree to marry us.
Honey, don't worry. We're on our way. Nothing can stop us now.
兵がやってきました。こんな荷物を早く詰め。
How are you, Padre? Good to see you.
Thank heaven. I don't use that word loosely. It's a blessing to see you. If you hadn't shown up, those Japanese would have found us sooner or later.
Japanese here? Where, Padre?
Oh, they've gone now. Your boat's frightened them off.
Oh, good.
How many of you are there?
Well, including the bride and groom, about 40.
Bride and groom? That's funny. For a minute, I thought you said something about a bride and groom.
Well, I did, Padre. You see, we kind of combined a landing party with a wedding party. Almost like killing two birds with one stone, huh?
I don't understand.
Well, come on along and I'll explain it to you.
And with the power vested in me, I now pronounce you man and wife.
Now, cut it out, you guys!
Stick with the Japs. Come on, let's get out of here. Let's go.
McHale.
Are you still up, Captain?
Yes, I'm up. I told that boy should do something about that pain.
Well, it's being taken care of, sir, yes.
The lieutenant just woke me. It's a signal from Confleet about what happened at Kuakai.
Oh? Well, what happened at Kuakai?
You know darn well what happened at Kuakai. Admiral sent me a commendation.
Commendation, sir?
That's right. Nice work, McHale.
Thank you, sir.
There's only one thing puzzles me. How did you know there were Japanese way out there?
Japanese. Well, you know me, sir. I can smell rice 100 miles away. Yes, sir.
No, you've got some in your hair.
They were eating when we jumped them. Yes, sir. Yes. Well, now you go ahead and get a good night's rest, sir.
Yes, I need it. I don't understand. My health has just gone to pieces all of a sudden.
Yes. Nighty-night, Captain.
Nighty-night.
Night. Nighty-night, sir.
Well, it isn't Niagara Falls, but a honeymoon's a honeymoon. Well, Quint, no company now.
All right, you guys, now let's keep the noise down out. Hey! Halt! Identify yourself! Halt!
Advance to be recognized. Halt! Trainer pull. Hauler on fire! Hey, don't you know the rules? You're supposed to stop.
It's all right, Chuck. It's all right. I know the gentleman.
Gentlemen! Commander, this happens to be a naval installation, and by his refusing to identify himself when confronted by a United States naval officer constitutes a very serious breach of security. And we... Of course, on the other hand, if you say he's a gentleman...
Chuck, fellas, I want you to meet Pali Urulu. He's a very important chief and #1 witch doctor in these parts.
Well, pleasure to meet your acquaintance, Chief. I'm pretty important.
Well, Urulu, what are you doing down from the hills? Is there anything we can do for you?
When you take island from Japan, man, you cannon boats kill all my coconut trees. Now you pay.
Hold it down, fellas. Well, how much damage did happen to your trees, Chief?
$100,000 you give me.
Well, how did you decide at $100,000?
That figure nice and round like coconut I lose.
Excuse me just a minute, Chief. Come here, fellas, come here. Excuse me, Chief. I don't know what to do. He's a very important man in more ways than one. I just can't tell him to get up and shove off.
Well, why don't you do it according to regulations? I mean, go through channels. Endorse him on up to the next highest authority.
To Binghamton? Why, he'd... he'd blow his top.
100,000. Why, that's the most unheard of bit of gall that I've ever heard of.
Our pre-invasion bombardment did knock down a mess of coconut trees, sir.
This whole mosquito trap of an island isn't worth $100,000. McHale, who is this creature? Is this some gold brick salesman that you've teamed up with to defraud the government?
Wait a minute, sir. This is Pali Urulu, a very influential man.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, he's just some backwoods extortionist trying to work his way up into the big time.
He's also a very famous witch doctor, sir.
I don't care if he's a neurosurgeon. You pull anything like this again, and I'll throw you in the brig.
You not give me money?
Actually, sir, the man is within his rights, according to regulations. That's paragraph 10.
Be quiet. Nobody likes a smart ensign.
Just trying to point out.
You can point out the door to this walking totem pole. That's what you can point out.
You not give me money?
You're lucky I don't give you 30 days. Now get out of here before your hat starts shedding on my floor. I don't care who your law firm is. Get out of here.
La la manu malo malo tiki kanakai.
McHale, what was that all about? What?
Well, that, sir, was the Malo Malo curse.
The what?
Sir, he just put a curse on you.
I put a curse on you. That's the funniest thing you ever heard of, Mr.
Now, Captain, I'm not saying I put anything on his curse business, sir, but well, I've seen Urulu in action before the war. There was a rival chief one time claimed that he was a phony, and the last time I saw that chief, he was 4 feet tall and still shrinking, sir.
Oh, McHale, I've always known that you weren't very smart. But to think that you believe in witch doctors...
Well, now, I don't say I believe, sir, but with Urulu, well, it wouldn't hurt anything to call him back and slip him a few bucks.
I'm running a naval base here, not a small claims court. Now, get out of here. I'm busy. And send Lieutenant Carpenter in.
Anything you say, sir.
Since when? Molly. Icky. Hey!
Yes, sir?
Oh, Lieutenant, did McHale tell you?
Tell me what, sir?
That big savage that just left here, he put a curse on me.
Oh? Well, maybe he's a Japanese secret weapon, sir.
That's very good, Lieutenant.
I thought so too, sir. Thank you.
Well, shall we just go along and inspect that new dock now?
It's a shame, sir.
All right, Lieutenant, all right, let's go.
Where's the captain? I must say, sir, this certainly is not your day.
When I want your comments, Lieutenant, I'll ask for them.
Here we go. Watch. Up.
Ah, that's easy.
Easy, eh?
Yeah.
Okay, Fooge. How come you're holding out on us? Where'd you get that pigeon?
Pigeon?
Yeah. How about that?
Hey, you guys! Pronto! Hey, Tinker! It's a pip. I gotta tell you what happened.
Hey, Skip, you know that curse Rulu put on Captain Binghamton?
Yeah?
It's starting to work like gangbusters. Tell him, Tink.
Well, Binghamton was inspecting the new dock, and he worked kaplunk right into the drain.
Anybody can fall off a dock that doesn't have a guardrail.
Oh, this dock has a guardrail. Binghamton went through it, right on his... Are you sure? I saw it with my own gleeful eyes.
Now, that's ridiculous. Taking a few unfortunate accidents and trying to link them to that silly native superstition.
Yeah, well, if I were you, I wouldn't make any fun of Varulu's curse. Not while he's around. I don't know what I'd do with a 3-foot ensign, buddy.
Hey, Skip, don't tell me you believe in that native mumbo-jumbo.
Are you kidding? Do I look superstitious? Yes!
Hey, speaking of mumbo jumbo, the great Gruber, master of the Legend of Maine, will now perform his most fabulous feat of all time.
Come on.
Well, yeah.
I shall change this tiny seed into a full-grown mango tree right before your very eyes.
Oh, this full-grown mango tree.
Full-grown.
Go ahead.
Nice little seed. Place it and sand a little dirt over it. Put a cloth over it, a few magic words, abracadabra. Mango's up.
Maybe you need a little water.
That's it, Skip. I should have used water.
Good morning.
Are you all right? Sir?
All right, it's that stupid stuff that's all wrong.
I'll have it fixed immediately,
Take
sir.
your hands off me.
Sorry.
What's the matter with you?
Captain, look!
Well, didn't you ever see an engine overheat before?
Oh, yes, sir. But I haven't started the motor yet.
I suppose you think that those incidents out there were caused by that so-called curse? Well, let me tell you, mister, anytime some half-naked savage can frighten 40-knot Binghamton.
Oh, the thought never entered my mind, sir.
And I suppose that you think that I should file Yarulu's damage claims against the government.
Oh, no, sir. I don't think Washington would like it, sir.
They'd hate it. They'd hate me. They'd think that I don't know how to run my base. You give me a straight answer now, mister. Do you put any credence in this silly curse business?
There is no such thing as a curse, sir.
Good man. There is absolutely, positively no such thing as a curse. Well, don't just stand there, Carpenter. Get me Form 35370A. Civilian damage claims against the Navy.
Ahoy there on the 73! There's good news tonight. Gather round one and all.
Oh, what happened? Did Binghamton fall on his fantail again?
This is important news. Skipper. I got it direct from my Washington contact. They're sending an admiral out with authority to relieve Captain Binghamton.
Are you sure, Gruber?
Has my underground network ever been wrong? Yes, sir. Chicken Binghamton is a dead duck.
Wait a minute, man. There's no way to talk about our commanding officer.
You mean ex-commanding officer. All he has to do is goof off in front of Admiral Hawkins and... Who? Admiral Hawkins. That's the name of the guy they're sending out from Washington.
You don't mean Horrible Hawkins?
Nah, name's Homer.
That's the one. Horrible Hawkins. Oh, fine.
What's wrong, Skipper?
Oh, listen. Horrible Hawkins is not only 10 times as chicken as Binghamton, and 100 times smarter. If he takes over, fellas, forget it. We're back in the Navy.
Wait a minute, man. Just because Hawkins runs a taut ship doesn't mean it can't be a happy ship. Besides, there's nothing taughtier than a happy ship. Happy. Pretty miserable. What are we going to do?
Well, I don't know. It's going to kill you guys as much as it does me. But we're in a trap. If we don't want Horrible Hawkins, we'll have to help Binghamton.
What can we do, Skip? How can we get that curse off him?
Now, how many times do I have to tell you guys there's no such thing as a curse?
I
don't know. I said a lot of curses. I'm sorry, Glue.
Haul it, you eight balls.
Look, when I want a paint job, I'll ask for one.
Wait a minute. That's it.
Right. That's what?
Urulu put the hex on Binghamton, right?
Yeah.
Well, if we came up with a witch doctor, a better one than Urulu, we could convince Binghamton that the new one could take off the curse.
Great, great. Where do we find another witch doctor?
Wait a minute, Skipper.
You can do it, Groom.
But I don't look anything like a witch doctor.
You look as much like a witch doctor as you do a sailor.
Hey, Skip, Captain Binghamton wouldn't fall for anything like this.
In his present frame of mind, he'd fall for anything. It's a cinch, Groob. All you gotta do is a couple of magic tricks, some mumbo-jumbo, and a little paint.
And we got the paint!
Then it's all set. I hereby christen you Garuliaba, chief head shrinker of the Kandulu tribe.
I can do it! I can do it!
McHale, I don't have time to waste on your nonsense.
Oh, I wouldn't want to waste your time, sir. What's those rocks, sir? Well, but still, I don't think it pays to take chances, sir. Naturally, it's ridiculous to think that you've been cursed.
Naturally, sir.
Of course, I'll have you know that not a thing has happened to me all day.
Well, good for you, sir.
Oh, shut up.
But still, it doesn't pay to take chances, sir. I've gone out and located the head witch doctor of the Kandulu tribe. He's a very important man. And he hates Urulu, sir. So he said he'd be delighted to take Urulu's curse off of you, sir.
Well, that is the curse you don't have on you, sir.
Oh, no, McHale. You're not going to rope me in any more of your voodoo nonsense. I'm a scientific, rational man, and this is the 20th century.
Yes, sir. Well, after you, sir.
Oh, no. After you, McHale.
Yes, sir.
After you, Parker.
Oh, well, sir, you outrank me.
After you, I know who outranks who.
Yes, sir.
Dale, take me to your witch doctor.
I don't have too much rouge on, do I?
Oh, no, you're just beautiful. You remind me of a blind date I had once.
Hey, come on, you guys. We better finish up. The Captain Skip will be here any minute.
Well, this is it, sir. The sacred place. The Kandulus think that the world was created right here. Boy, think of that.
Sacred place, the Kandulus. This is absurd.
I could just scream.
What you? It's all right, sir. It's all right. Now, Rulu's curse was big medicine. But Gruliaba assures us that, well, it'll take even bigger medicine to take the curse off you, sir.
Nabanani Wanikolo. Anakoloa.
McHale, what did he say? Well, sir, he says that this is a very serious case, sir, and that your Kaloa Naba is very Nabunanawana.
He did?
Yes, sir.
Is it?
Yes, sir.
Achoo! Achoo!
He's trying to asphyxiate me.
No, sir, it's some hot parter. It's kind of like a native penicillin.
McHale, get this vulture off of my head.
Achoo! On that chakutu!
You see, he's transferring Arulu's curse to the chicken, sir.
Oh, this is ridiculous.
Fundu Manikai!
Fundu Manik.
Hell, I must have been out of my mind to let you talk me into coming here.
Oh, no, sir. Now, don't worry, sir. I guarantee you that Gruliaba will get rid of the curse, and fast.
I'm Admiral Hawkins. Where's your commanding officer, and who are you?
Lieutenant Commander at your service, sir. Captain Binghamton left with Commander McHale, sir.
Yeah, where to?
McHale's Island, sir.
A mere lieutenant commander, and he has his own island? Things are a worse mess in this base than I expected. All right, come on, let's find this so-called captain of yours.
Yes, sir.
What's all this?
Well, hello, Rulu. Nice of you to drop by. Do you know Gruliaba here?
McHale, what is going on? What's your Rulu doing here?
Well, I don't know, sir, but don't worry. Gruliaba will protect you. Yes, sir.
What happened? Him flip wig, McHale? And who he?
This is Gruliaba, great witch doctor, just like you, Rulu. Show him some of your magic tricks. Go ahead, Gruliaba.
Would somebody please tell me what's going on here?
It's kind of well, sir, as a matter of speaking, it's the battle of the two great witch doctors. They're kind of fighting for your soul, sir. Come on, Juliaba. Come on.
Excuse me.
What are you going to do now?
The mango tree trick?
But you can't. If you blow that, you blow everything.
What him do?
If the spirits are willing, Gruliaba will show what you're going to do, Gruliaba.
Mangoes
Thank you. Likewise.
How about that, huh?
Very good. You teach me, I pay.
No, Rulu. He couldn't do that. But we could make a bargain. You take the curse off Captain Binghamton, and the great Gruliaba here will teach you the trick for free.
Drive hard bargain.
Well.
Okay, no more malo curse.
You're kidding.
How about that, sir?
I don't believe this. It's all a nightmare.
Well, the nightmare's over, sir. And I'll prove it to you. Hali Kanima. Get a chair, any chair. And now, you just wait and see, sir, just what we...
Tin hut!
What in the name of the Great White Fleet is going on here?
Admiral Hawkins, sir. How nice, sir. Whatever brings you here, sir?
You're gonna find out soon enough, McHale.
Oh?
So who's this? The Birdman at Taratuba? Where's Binghamton?
Oh, right here. Here's Captain Birdington. Captain, the Admiral's here. Who? The Admiral.
Admiral. Welcome aboard, Admiral.
Welcome aboard!
Well, sir, you came at a very exciting moment, sir. Captain Binghamton was just concluding a treaty with the local natives, yes, sir. And you know how quaint their ceremonial costumes are, yes, sir.
You listen to me. Captain, this is for your own information. I came all the way out here to relieve you of your command, if I decided it was necessary. And you have just about made my decision for me.
Relieve me of my command? Oh, my career, my promotion. Hey, look, everybody, I'm sitting down and the chair hasn't broken. I'm sitting down!
All right! On your feet, you naval reservist. I'll tell you when you can sit down. Now you listen to me, every one of you. I don't know exactly what's going on around here, and I got news for you. I am certainly going to find out, you hear?
Yes, sir.
Who him with big mouth?
This is a very important man, Urulu. He's Binghamton's big boss from Washington. Where all the money is.
$100,000 you give me.
I'll give you 90 days in the coldest brig in the Navy. You pot-bellied aboriginal sea lawyer, you.
Insult, McHale?
Oh, insult, Chief. Hold it, Chief. Step back there now. Don't let any splashing.
What's he doing?
Well, what did all that mean?
Well, sir, he just put a curse on you.
Oh, so you put a... He put a curse on...
Yes, sir.
Oh, come on. Oh, now that does it. That really does... Oh, Binghamton. You're not only running the most inefficient base in the entire Pacific, but you got a crew here living in the Dark Ages. What a report I'm going to send to Washington on this one. A curse on the United States Navy in the middle of the 20th century?
Not bad, huh? Well, Chuck, for better or for worse, we got the captain back.
Boy, you sure handled it brilliantly, too, Skip. Convincing Hawkins that Binghamton handled the situation the only way possible.
Well, Hawkins falling through that chair didn't hurt anything either.
Skipper, we got trouble.
What now?
You know the trick Gruber promised to teach Urulu for getting the curse off Hawkins?
Yeah. Oh, for crying out loud. Come on.
Una, mula mula, talu.
You make fun of me, Gruber.
Oh, no, Chief. Just give me a few more seconds. I'll have it full of goldfish for you. I promise.
You better make it good, Gruber. I can't use a 4-foot torpedo man either.
I'm trying, Skipper. I'm trying. Alakazam, hey, nanny, and a hot cha-cha. Full to the top with little goldfish.
You big fake. Urulu mad. La la.
No, don't, Chief. No, don't.
He's trying.
Yeah. One more chance, Chief. Go ahead. Come on. Sweet little fishes in the itty-bitty pool. Alakazam, abracadabra. Hey, they're in there!
La la manu malo.
No!
Commander Sterling, still smarting from the regatta defeat, was present, radiating a palpable aura of self-righteous disapproval. Penny Parker, usually Captain, the menu calls for roast duck à l'orange, not grilled, and the entertainment is strictly to be a string quartet, not a fire-eating performance by Chef Dubois. Finn O'Malley merely patted her shoulder. Relax, Penny. A true host offers variety. Besides, King Zaba Zaba 7 requested the fire eater personally. Says it reminds him of his ancestral And about the ducks, well, let's just say a flock of rather aggressive local pheasants. volunteered for the main course. The gala began with a tense air of forced formality. Admiral Rogers, looking suitably unimpressed, accepted a drink from a nervous, rusty carpenter who was attempting to juggle trays of appetizers without dropping anything. Commander Quill, clipboard in hand, monitored every fork, every glass, every whispered conversation. The string quartet struck up a mournful classical piece. All seemed to be going passably well, for Isla Bonita standards. But then, as Chef de Bois, clad in an unexpectedly flamboyant sequined jumpsuit, emerged for his fire-eating act, an unexpected turn of events occurred. Chef de Bois, a master of culinary arts but a novice at pyrotechnics, accidentally ignited a particularly voluminous feather boa worn by one of King Zaba Zaba VI's royal dancers. Pandemonium erupted. The dancer shrieked, batting at her flaming boa. King Zaba Zaba 7, initially startled, then burst into a peal of raucous laughter, thinking it part of the show. Magnificent! A dance of fire. Such authentic Zanzibarican spirit. Admiral Rogers, however, was less amused. O'Malley, what is the meaning of this pyrotechnic nightmare? Finn O'Malley, ever quick on his feet, seized a nearby bucket of seawater, and, with a powerful swing, he then turned to Admiral Rogers with an innocent smile. A special request from King Zaba. Zaba 7, a traditional Zanzibarican blaze of glory ceremony, designed to purify the spirit before diplomatic negotiations. It signifies profound trust, sir. King Zaba Zaba 7, still chuckling, nodded vigorously. Indeed, a magnificent show. Commander O'Malley truly understands our ancient customs. Admiral Rogers stared, bewildered, then slowly relaxed, a grudging smile appearing on his lips. Well, O'Malley, you certainly have a knack for interpretive diplomacy. Very well. Continue the festivities. Piff, monitoring the gala via a pirated live video feed from his puffy night, watched in horror as Finn once again twisted disaster into diplomatic triumph. His rage swelled to epic proportions. O'Malley, you scoundrel, I will end you and your preposterous celebrations. Piffleprat, driven to madness, finally snapped. He grabbed a pair of discarded puffin wings, strapped them to his back, fashioned a helmet from an old coconut, and launched himself into the churning waters off his desolate island. Convinced he could personally swim to Isla Bonita and put a stop to Finn O'Malley once and for all, he disappeared into the darkness, leaving a single, bewildered puffin in his wake. Back at the gala, the chaos, somehow, subsided. The fire-eating act concluded without further mishap, and the roast pheasants were served to appreciative applause. As the evening drew to a close, Admiral Rogers clapped Finn O'Malley on the shoulder. O'Malley, Admiral Rogers said, a genuine smile now gracing his face. Despite everything, you have somehow managed to create an atmosphere of unparalleled international camaraderie. Your methods are bewildering, but your results are undeniable. Isla Bonita is indeed a unique command, perhaps too unique for conventional leadership. He cast a knowing glance at Commander Quill, who stiffened. I believe, Commander Quill, that your talents for meticulous organization would be better suited to a position where such spontaneity is less prevalent. I'm reassigning you to the Admiralty's Records Archiving Unit at Fortress Apex. You will bring order to the chaos of historical documents. Quill, though disheartened, could not argue. He knew that Isla Bonita and Finn O'Malley were fundamentally on. He saluted, a profound sense of resignation settling over him. And O'Malley, Admiral Rogers continued, as for you, my boy, given your exceptional rapport with the indigenous peoples, I am promoting you to temporary commander and making your command of Isla Bonita permanent, with an expanded mandate for inter-island liaison and goodwill initiatives. Your new challenge, establishing permanent diplomatic outposts on all the and a request from King Zaba Zaba 7, a permanent supply of tukul fish, and, O'Malley, no more accidental fires. Understood? Finn O'Malley beamed, saluting crisply. Understood, Admiral. No accidental fires, unless, of course, they are blaze of glory ceremonies. A permanent commander. This is indeed an honor. Penny Parker, standing beside him, managed a tired but genuine smile. She knew what this meant. More adventures, more chaos, and more exasperated memos from a perpetually frustrated high command. But with Finn O'Malley, it would never, ever be boring. The night ended with celebratory fireworks, a spectacular display organized by Gruber and Chester, featuring several highly unstable Roman candles repurposed from old flare guns. The explosions lit up the night sky, casting a warm glow over Isla Bonita. Somewhere, far out in the dark, churning waters, a very wet, very cold Admiral P, still clinging to his makeshift puffin wings and babbling incoherently about vengeful seabirds and mutinous commanders, continued his long, lonely swim back to his desolate island. His mission, as ever, unfinished. But for Finn O'Malley and his crew, the adventure on Isla Bonita had just truly begun. They raise a toast, not to victory, but to the enduring, glorious, magnificent, utterly unpredictable chaos of it all. The saga of Commander Finn O'Malley and his crew continued. Each day on Isla Bonita, a fresh page in an epic comedy of errors and triumphs. With Commander Quill's departure for the solemn archives of Fortress Apex, a new, albeit slightly more nuanced era dawned. Admiral Rogers' permanent commander mandate, intended to stabilize Isla Bonita, ironically cemented Finn's reign of creative, if unconventional, chaos. Quill's last act before leaving was to implement a rigorous daily incident report system, a paper trail designed to trap Finn, but which only served as a fascinating, and often baffling, daily read for the few who dared to peruse it. Commander O'Malley, Penny Parker, declared one crisp morning, her voice echoing in Finn's newly redecorated office. Admiral Rogers' first official, Inter-Rillian liaison, and goodwill initiative is on the agenda. He wants us to establish diplomatic relations with the elusive kingdom of the Whispering Sands. They are a desert people, inhabiting the remote, volcanic island of Kamit, famed for their camel racing, their sand sculpture festival, and their fierce independence. We are to impress upon them our sincerity and commitment to mutual prosperity. Finn stroked his chin thoughtfully. Kamisha, desert island, you say, with sand sculptures and camel racing. Sounds like an opportunity for some serious cultural immersion. Penny, I foresee much goodwill to be spread, particularly if we bring plenty of water buffalo ice cream and some lively ukulele music. What could possibly go wrong this time? Penny, with a long-suffering sigh, did not even bother to answer. Everything, Captain, as always. Admiral Pifflepratt, however, had managed to secure a battered shortwave radio on his puffin-infested rock. His voice, now raspy and often punctuated by distant squawks, frequently interrupted Isla Bonita's official transmissions. He had an uncanny knack for knowing exactly when Finn was about to embark on a new mission. O'Malley, Pifflepratt's voice crackled through the static. I hear you're venturing to Kamisha. Beware the sand scorpions. And the phantom camel racer, a legendary figure who ensures all efforts of inter-island amity are, like my marmalade supply, irrevocably foiled. He is your undoing, O'Malley. Mark my words. Mark them. The transmission then dissolved into a flurry of static and outraged puffin calls. Finn merely shrugged. Phantom camel racer sounds like a challenge for Chester's prodigious gambling instincts and Gruber's tinkering prowess. To ensure the success of the commission mission, Admiral Rogers had dispatched a new liaison officer, Captain Araminta Mona Marlowe. Captain Marlowe was an expert in ancient cultures and diplomatic etiquette, known for her sharp intellect, unwavering poise, and a dazzling smile that could disarm even the most stubborn tribal leader. She was also rumored to have a photographic memory for protocols and a particular disdain for anything less than impeccable. Pifflepratt, from his lonely rock, took grim satisfaction, convinced that Mona's adherence to perfection would inevitably expose Finn's chaotic nature. Captain Marlowe arrived on Isla Bonita looking perfectly pristine, despite the long journey. She stepped onto the dock, her gaze sweeping over the motley crew of the PT-73 with an expression of polite bemusement. Commander O'Malley, I presume, Mona asked, extending a perfectly manicured hand. Her voice was melodious, yet authoritative. Captain Araminta Marlowe, at your service. I'm here to ensure our diplomatic mission to Kamisha is executed with the utmost precision and cultural sensitivity. I've heard much about your unique command style. Commander, I anticipate a learning experience. Finn, ever the charmer, bowed slightly. Captain Marlowe, a distinct pleasure. We eagerly await your guidance, though, I must confess, our cultural sensitivity sometimes leans more towards enthusiastic participation than strict adherence. He winked at Penny. Penny Parker, trying to mediate, stepped forward. Captain Marlowe, welcome to Isla Bonita. I assure you, Commander O'Malley and his crew, while possess a certain innate knack for cross-cultural relations. She omitted the part about it often involving unexpected explosions or food-related incidents. The voyage to Kamisha on the PT-73 was, surprisingly, mostly uneventful. Captain Marlowe observed Finn's crew with a detached, anthropological curiosity, taking meticulous notes on their various idiosyncrasies. Gruber, despite his usual, was captivated by Mona's elegance and tried to maintain a pristine uniform, only to succumb to grease stains. Chester O'Malley, ever the eager beaver, offered Mona a peanut butter and teriyaki sandwich, which she politely but firmly declined. Upon their arrival at Camisa, the landscape was indeed a stark contrast to the lush green of Isla Bonita. Vast stretches of golden sand, sculpted by centuries of wind, stretched towards a hazy horizon. The Comitian people, noble and reserved, greeted them with quiet dignity. Their leader, Sultan Rashid, a man of quiet authority, welcomed them into his magnificent oasis tent, cooled by intricate windows. Captain Marlowe immediately engaged Sultan Rashid in fluent commission, impressing him with her knowledge of their history and traditions. Finn, meanwhile, tried to learn the local desert dance, only to accidentally trip over a ceremonial sand dune miniature, sending it crashing to the floor. Piffleprat's dispatches about Finn's destructive tendencies echoed faintly in Penny's mind. The climax of their visit was to be the Great Comitian Sand Sculpture Festival, where artists would craft elaborate ephemeral monuments to their history. Admiral Rogers, via Quill, had specifically requested Finn's crew to contribute a sculpture representing interallied unity. Finn, however, had a different vision. He gathered his crew. Boys, forget interallied unity. We're building a tribute to the spirit of Isla Bonita, a majestic, colossal sculpture of Sydney the alligator, complete with peanut butter sandwich features. Penny gasped. Cap, with all due respect, that might not convey the desired cultural sensitivity Admiral Rogers had in mind. Perhaps a majestic eagle, or a valiant naval vessel. Finn waved her off. Nonsense. Penny, Sydney embodies true Comitian independence, unpredictable, formidable, and with a surprisingly gentle heart. Besides, I heard Sultan Rashid loves a good joke. Chester, Perk, Gruber, get to work on Sydney's left flank, and make sure he's got a big, friendly grin. Captain Marlowe, upon discovering Finn's plans, was a Commander O'Malley, you cannot. A colossal alligator made of sand. During a solemn cultural festival, this is an affront. It completely disrespects Comitian artistic tradition. Finn merely winked. Captain, trust me. Sometimes, the most culturally sensitive act is to simply be yourself, with a touch of flair. Meanwhile, a shadowy figure, cloaked in desert robes, observed the preparations from afar. This was the Phantom Camel Racer, a legendary figure whispered about in Comitian lore. A saboteur who, for reasons unknown, delighted in disrupting any foreign presence on Kamisha. Piffleprat's erratic warnings had, it seemed, a grain of truth. This time, the Phantom Camel Racer had set his sights on Finn O'Malley's ridiculous sand sculpture. On the eve of the festival, under the veil of the desert night, the Phantom Camel Racer struck. He stealthily approached Finn's gargantuan sand Sydney, intending to undermine its structural integrity. However, as he began to dig at its sandy foundations, he inadvertently disturbed a nest of particularly irritable desert hornets, who emerged en masse, buzzing angrily. The Phantom Camel Racer, shrieking in genuine terror, stumbled backward, collapsing into a carefully hidden pit trap Finn's crew dug earlier while searching for stray peanut butter sandwich remnants. The Phantom Camel Racer was caught, entangled in a discarded fishing net, surrounded by furious hornets. His plan foiled by a combination of Finn's absent-mindedness and sheer chance. The next day, during the unveiling of the sand sculptures, Finn's colossal sand city, against all odds, stood magnificently, shimmering golden in the desert sun, a massive, friendly alligator, a half-eaten peanut butter sandwich sculpted into its grin. Captain Marlowe braced herself for Sultan Rashid's outrage. But Sultan Rashid, renowned for his dry wit and unexpected appreciation for the absurd, approached the sand Sydney, studying it for a long moment. Then, a slow smile spread across his face, and he let out a hearty laugh, a deep, rumbling sound that filled the oasis. Commander O'Malley. This is a masterpiece, a monument to individuality. The great green gecko himself would be proud of such a formidable, yet friendly, creature. You truly understand the Cometian spirit. Captain Marlowe stared, utterly dumbfounded. Finn O'Malley merely winked at her, and then, remembering his good fortune, offered Sultan Rashid a genuine, if slightly giggly. The Sultan accepted it graciously, and the festival continued in a spirit of unprecedented goodwill. Later, as they prepared to depart, Sultan Rashid personally thanked Finn O'Malley. Commander O'Malley, your presence here has been a revelation. You speak the true language of diplomacy, the language of laughter. As a token of our appreciation, and for capturing the troublesome phantom camel racer, who, it turns out, was merely my mischievous younger brother attempting to protest his banishment from camel racing, I grant you free passage through the Whispering Sands, and a gift of 3 of our finest racing camels. Finn beamed. Racing camels, Your Highness. What an honor. Penny, Perk, Chester. We're starting a camel cavalry division. Piffle Pratt will be thrilled. He always admired our mobility. Penny merely sighed, looking at the 3 magnificently disgruntled camels tethered to the side of the PT-73. Commander Quill, who had assisted in freeing the stung and disheveled phantom camel racer, finally found a positive entry for his notebook. Commander O'Malley, effective, albeit accidental, neutralization of a regional destabilizing element, remarkable in its randomness. He still struggled with accepting chaos. Back on his desolate island, Admiral Piffle Pratt intercepted a garbled message from Sultan Rashid. O'Malley laughter, friendship racing camels. Piffle Pratt roared into his static-filled radio. Racing camels. Has the man gone utterly mad? O'Malley, you haven't heard the last of me. You haven't. His cries were drowned out by the indignant squawks of 100 puffins, now thoroughly accustomed to his melodramatic outbursts. The return of Finn O'Malley's crew to Isla Benita with 3 disgruntled, but undoubtedly prized, racing camels caused immediate panic. Admiral Rogers, upon receiving Rashid's glowing report, begrudgingly accepted Finn's continued diplomatic successes. Commander Quill, now tasked with finding suitable accommodations for the camels, grew several new stress lines. A camel stable on a naval base. O'Malley, Quill muttered, flipping through architectural plans for an entirely new, desert-themed animal husbandry unit. This is an administrative nightmare. Do you realize the paperwork involved in requisitioning hay for dromedaries in the South Pacific? Finn merely shrugged. They're ambassadors of goodwill, Commander. Highly mobile goodwill ambassadors. Imagine the tactical possibilities during beach patrols. Penny Parker, however, had a mind on other matters. The upcoming annual Admiral's inspection of naval readiness was looming. Admiral Rogers himself was making the trip, personally. And Piffle Pratt, much to everyone's horror, had finally been reassigned from his Puffin Rock exile to act as Chief of Naval Protocol for the inspection. This was Piffle Pratt's chance for ultimate revenge. O'Malley, Piffle Pratt declared, striding into Finn's office one morning, looking eerily composed in a freshly pressed white uniform. I'm here to conduct a preliminary inspection of your base readiness, and, I assure you, Commander, I shall find every single microscopic imperfection, every unpolished button, every crooked broom handle. This time, your chaotic command will be laid bare for Admiral Rogers to witness firsthand. Finn merely grinned. As you wish, Admiral Pitt. We thrive on transparency and chaos, sir. Don't forget the chaos. The preliminary inspection was a harrowing experience. Piffle Pratt, armed with a white glove and a magnifying glass, probed every corner of Isla Benita. He found mildew in the brig, a loose board on the Petty Officers Club veranda, and, to his absolute delight, a discarded coconut bra hanging incongruously in the armory. A coconut bra in the armory. O'Malley, Piffle Pratt shrieked, holding it aloft like a trophy. This is an utter disgrace, a violation of every military regulation ever conceived. Admiral Rogers will undoubtedly concur. Finn merely winked. Part of our ingenious misinformation campaign to confuse potential enemy infiltrators, who would suspect such audacity. Penny Parker, stepping forward, presented Piffle Pratt with a freshly prepared, perfectly organized report. Admiral Piffle Pratt, a detailed report on our operational aesthetics improvement program, outlining all measures taken to enhance visual readiness. including strategic placement of decorative flora, ergonomic arrangement of equipment, and the implementation of our cultural ambience unit for indigenous integration. She gestured to Perk Willoughby, who was busily arranging potted hibiscus plants around their armory. Piffle Pratt, momentarily flummoxed by the sheer volume of official-sounding jargon, could only splutter. He tore through Penny's report, searching for a single concrete infraction, but every potential flaw was preemptively covered by a euphemism or an improbable tactical justification. Finn, he realized, had learned to speak his language, but with a cunning, chaotic dialect all its own. The day of Admiral Rogers's full inspection dawned bright and clear, much to Piffle Pratt's immense satisfaction. He had personally arranged every detail of Rogers' itinerary, ensuring that Finn O'Malley's most embarrassing deficiencies would be highlighted. Rogers arrived in a sleek, powerful destroyer, an imposing vessel that dwarfed the PT-73 and the assorted ragtag craft of Isla Bonita. Admiral Rogers, a man who believed in rigid discipline and flawless execution, disembarked with a retinue of impeccably uniformed aides. Piffle Pratt, standing rigidly at attention beside Quill, beamed with Admiral Rogers, sir, Piffle Pratt boomed, his voice fully recovered and brimming with welcome to Isla Bonita. Commander Quill and I have meticulously prepared for your inspection. Every detail is to your precise standards, sir. Admiral Rogers merely grunted, his gaze sweeping over the base. Very well. Piffle Pratt, let us proceed, and I trust that Commander O'Malley has managed to keep his more colorful proclivities under wraps. Indeed, sir, O'Malley is awaiting your pleasure, contained, as it were, in a highly regulated capacity, Piffle Pratt declared, leading Rogers towards Finn's PT-73. Finn O'Malley, along with Penny Parker and his entire crew, stood in a perfectly straight line on the dock, impeccably uniformed. Even the racing camels, tethered discreetly nearby, seemed to be standing at attention. The PT-73 itself gleamed, its deck scrubbed, brass polished, and even its notorious 50-caliber machine gun sparkling. Admiral Rogers approached. His eyes narrowed, searching for a flaw, but there was none. Everything was astonishingly perfect. He even noted a small, tastefully arranged flower pot near the gang. O'Malley, Rogers finally grunted, a flicker of grudging admiration in his eyes. You seem to have, against all odds, managed to bring some semblance of order to this tropical outpost. My compliments. Piffle Pratt's jaw dropped. This was not going according to plan. But, sir, the coconut bra, the mildew in the brig, the unregulated frog species in the latrines. I have reports, sir. Rogers merely waved a dismissive hand. Nonsense. Piffle. Commander O'Malley has personally assured me that the coconut bra protocol is an essential element of his deceptive camouflage initiative for beach landing operations. And the mildew, I am informed by Commander Quill's thorough report, is a rare form of bioluminescent algae, vital for nighttime navigation. As for the frogs, they are part of a biological insect control unit imported from Zam. Rogers turned to Finn, and speaking of Zam, the magnificent Finn O'Malley beamed. Right this way, Admiral Rogers. A testament to international camaraderie. Sir, he led Rogers towards a pristine white pedestal, on which rested a truly magnificent, perfectly preserved sand-sculpted chukafish, encased in a shimmering, transparent plexiglass dome. Piffle Pratt gasped. But, sir, that was supposed to be destroyed by the tide. It was made of sand. Sir, it's impossible. Finn merely winked at Penny. An ingenious waterproofing technique, Admiral, developed by our very own Sergeant Gruber, utilizing a rare blend of local resin and strategic application of dried squid ink. Completely organic, sir. Admiral Rogers clapped Finn on the shoulder. Remarkable, O'Malley. Truly remarkable. This island, despite its quirks, holds a certain unique charm, and your men, while spirited, are clearly dedicated. This has been a most enlightening inspection. He turned to Piffle Pratt, a steely glint in his eye. However, I find your persistent attempts to undermine Commander O'Malley's legitimate initiatives, and your insistence on discovering non-existent infractions, to be a considerable drain on naval resources, and frankly, quite tiresome. Piffle Pratt paled. But, sir, he's a rogue, a charlatan. Indeed, Rogers replied, a mirthless smile on his lips. But he is my rogue, Piffleprat, and my charlatan. As for you, Admiral, I believe your recent experiences on the Hydrographic Survey Unit have broadened your horizons. I'm therefore assigning you a new, highly specialized role. Head of Experimental Avian Behavioral Studies on the remote and famously bird-infested Guano Archipelago. Your duties will involve extensive research into the migratory patterns of the rare screeching booby, a notoriously difficult and aggressive bird. Piffleprat's eyes glazed over. The screeching booby, Guano Archipelago, the horror of his fate, an island full of irascible, loud, and probably smelly birds, settled over him. No, not the boobies. Admiral, I beg you, have mercy. Rogers merely nodded to his aides. Commander Quill, you shall accompany Admiral Piffleprat for his initial deployment. Ensure he is properly and do try not to upset the boobies. They have a rather aggressive nesting instinct. They're very particular about their garter belts, as I understand. He winked at the mention of garter belts, remembering the original report. Quill, though disheartened by his new companion, could not disobey a direct order. He merely adjusted his cap and braced himself for the onslaught of avian-related chaos. Finn O'Malley, witnessing Piffleprat's utter and complete defeat, exchanged a knowing look with Penny Parker. They had won, or rather, Piffleprat had, once again, spectacularly lost. The inspection concluded with Admiral Rogers making a surprise announcement. He would be remaining on Isla Bonita for a week-long rest and recuperation period. Impressed by the island's unique charm and, perhaps, the irresistible allure of chaos, Finn O'Malley was beaming. A week-long R&R with Admiral Rogers. Penny, this is magnificent. We'll show him true Isla Bonita hospitality. Perk, Unleadster, Chester prepared the pygmy hippos for their diplomatic debut in the Admiral's personal quarters. Gruber, let's convert the PT-73 into a floating luau barge. And Rusty, my friend, congratulations on your impending Eunice is going to be a very happy bride. He winked at Rusty, whose face finally broke into a genuine smile. Isla Bonita, under Finn O'Malley's whimsical command, continued its glorious, unpredictable existence. The days were filled with diplomatic camel races, ceremonial chucklefish tastings, and the occasional unplanned torpedo launch. For Admiral Piffleprat, now utterly alone on the Guano Archipelago, surrounded by screeching boobies, life was a constant symphony of avian-induced torment. He knew, with grim certainty, that O'Malley would inevitably find a way to make even the boobies laugh, and that, more than anything else, was his ultimate, eternal punishment. The comedy of errors and triumphs, the dance between order and chaos, continued. Finn O'Malley and his crew were the heart and soul of Isla Bonita, a testament to the unpredictable spirit of the South Pacific, where even the most rigid regulations often bowed before the sheer force of eccentric ingenuity and boundless, if sometimes disastrous, goodwill. And so, under the vast, sparkling canopy of the equatorial stars, the PT-73 sailed on, carrying its unique crew towards new adventures, new mishaps, and a whole new world of delightful, dramatic, wonderfully chaotic possibilities. And somewhere, a distant admiral wailed. The tropical sun beat down mercilessly on Isla Bonita, its golden rays reflecting off the pristine turquoise waters and illuminating the sprawling chaos of Finn O'Malley's naval base. The island, a verdant jewel in the vast Pacific, now buzzed with an unusual mix of naval order and O'Malley's patented brand of spontaneous disarray. Admiral Rogers, surprisingly, seemed to be thriving in this environment, having extended his rest and recuperation period indefinitely. He spent his mornings fishing with Finn, his afternoons receiving camelback rides from Chester, and his evenings sampling Perk Willoughby's latest batch of coconut gin, all of which contributed to his increasingly relaxed, almost jovial, demeanor. Rusty Carpenter, surprisingly, had successfully navigated the complexities of his wedding. Eunice, having received her recovered funds, finally married Rusty in a small ceremony on Isla Bonita. However, even marital bliss was not immune to the island's peculiar charm. During their honeymoon, a mislabeled gift basket from Gruber containing a special celebratory concoction resulted in both newlyweds spending an entire afternoon conversing fluently with the local crabs, much to Eunice's bewildered delight and Rusty's utter mortification. Commander Quill, Meanwhile, endured his posting on the Guano archipelago. His meticulously planned avian behavioral studies were in constant disarray due to the aggressive and profoundly unsympathetic screeching boobies. His daily reports, filled with escalating counts of peck marks on his clipboard and instances of his immaculate cap being done, became a morbidly amusing ritual for Admiral Rogers and Finn O'Malley, who often chuckled over them, over their morning chucklefish omelettes. Piffleprat, according to Quill's latest dispatch, had begun developing a peculiar affinity for the boobies, attempting to teach them rudimentary naval salutes, with predictably disastrous results involving a lost uniform button and a squawking mutiny. Commander O'Malley, Penny Parker announced one morning, bursting into Finn's office, where he was attempting to teach a pygmy hippo how to play checkers. Admiral Rogers has a new goodwill initiative. He wants us to scout for new diplomatic outposts in the uncharted region known as the Veiled Archipelago. It's rumored to be home to the mythical cloud people of Cirrus Peak, who communicate entirely through atmospheric phenomena. Finn clapped his hands. Cloud people. You say, communicating through atmospheric phenomena. This sounds like a challenge for Gruber's meteorological prowess, and Chester's surprisingly expressive arm gestures. What an adventure. Penny will introduce them to the delights of terrestrial hospitality, and perhaps teach them the finer points of cloud-based semaphore signals. Admiral Rogers, from his hammock on the beach, overheard. And, O'Malley, he called out, his voice thick, with a genuine sense of adventure that only Isla Bonita could inspire. But I want you to bring a representative from the cloud people back to Isla Bonita for a Grand Sky 2C cultural summit. No complications, O'Malley. We're looking for stability. For once, Finn merely grinned and set about preparing his crew. Piffleprat, meanwhile, on the Guano archipelago, had somehow managed to tap into a high-frequency communications satellite with a makeshift antenna, fashioned from booby feathers and a bent spoon. He heard Admiral Rogers' instructions. Cloud people, you say, Rogers. Piffleprat railed into his jury-agate device, his voice a hoarse whisper, full of maniacal glee. O'Malley is going to fail. The cloud people are notoriously allergic to ground dwellers. They will be disgusted by O'Malley's earthy stench. I predict meteorological disaster. M-E-T-E, O-R, O-L, O-G, I-C, I-L-D, I-S, I-S-T. I tell you, mark my words, Rogers, mark them in cirrus clouds. His transmission, as usual, ended with the sounds of indignant booby squawks and frustrated sputtering. The voyage to the Veiled Archipelago was fraught with challenges. Thick, swirling mists enveloped the PT-73 for days, obscuring visibility and disorienting even Penny's precise navigation. Gruber's makeshift atmospheric sensors, cobbled together from spare parts and local plant fibers, buzzed and whirred with ominous predictions. Skipper, Gruber reported one morning, peering at a contraption fashioned from an old barometer and a coconut shell. My readings indicate a strong aversion field around Cirrus Peak. It's like an emotional force field. The cloud people, they don't like company. Finn merely adjusted his cap. Nonsense, Gruber. Every cloud has a silver lining, and every people has a weakness for good humor and hospitality. Penny, prepare the welcome kit. Chucklefish, water buffalo ice cream, and a performance of Chester's surprisingly popular screaming seashell symphony. As they finally penetrated the mists, they found themselves drifting past immense, floating landmasses, islands made entirely of solidified cloud, shimmering with an ethereal glow. On these cloud islands, figures, tall and slender, moved gracefully, their bodies seeming to shift and undulate like smoke. These were the cloud people of Cirrus Peak, and they were unlike anything the crew had ever seen. Skipper, Perk Willoughby gasped, clutching his binoculars. They're wearing robes woven from starlight, and they're floating. They don't even have feet. Finn, true to his word, initiated contact. He launched a small, unmanned weather balloon carrying the welcome kit and Chester's booming seashell symphony. The cloud people, at first, seemed wary. They communicated by sending gusts of wind that whistled through the PT-73's rigging in complex patterns, conveying curiosity, then cautious invitation. A representative, a majestic figure named Nim, descended on a wisp of cloud, materializing on the PT-73's deck. Nimbus was translucent, his form shifting like a cumulus cloud, his voice a soft, resonant hum that resonated within their chests. Greetings, ground dwellers. We have observed your presence. You radiate an unusual spectrum of disorganized mirth, and your gifts are intriguing. Nimbus gestured towards the chucklefish, which was now vibrating with barely contained giggles. Finn O'Malley, with Penny's whispered translations, explained their mission of goodwill. He offered Nimbus a scoop of water buffalo ice cream. Nimbus sampled it, his translucent face widening in surprise. Then, he let out a soft, cloud-like chuckle, a sound that cleared a patch of mist above them. This ice cream. It speaks of cool, terrestrial delights, and your screaming seashell symphony is surprisingly resonant with the deep vibrations of our upper atmosphere. Admiral Pifflepratt, overhearing this from his distant rock, shrieked into his radio. O'Malley, you're corrupting the atmospheric protocols. The cloud people are delicate. They will detonate. Detonate, I tell you. His cries were lost in a fresh chorus of angry boobies. Nimbus, convinced of Finn's sincerity, agreed to accompany them back to Ila Benita. We shall join your Sky 2C summit, ground dwellers. We wish to experience more of your disorganized mirth. The return journey, however, was not without incident. A rogue hurricane, apparently stirred by Pifflepratt's meteorological cursing, swept through the veiled archipelago. The PT-73 found itself battling monstrous waves and howling winds. Nimbus, unperturbed, remained perfectly calm, his form merely shifting more rapidly with the turbulence. Skipper, Penny yelled over the storm, clinging to the helm. The hurricane is strengthening. We're losing power. The main engine is sputtering. Finn, however, noticed something peculiar. Nimbus was emitting a faint, resonant hum, and around him, the wind seemed to part slightly. The rain lessened, creating a small, localized calm. Nimbus, Finn shouted, "You're humming! It's like a weather charm." Nimbus, smiling serenely, intensified his humming. Around the PT-73, the hurricane's fury began to subside, transforming into a gentle, life-giving rain. They navigated safely out of the storm, Nimbus's melodic vibrations somehow manipulating the atmospheric patterns. Back on Isla Bonita, Admiral Rogers, having endured 3 days of extreme weather, was relieved beyond measure when the PT-73 finally sailed into the bay, bearing Finn O'Malley, his triumphant crew, and the translucent, serene figure of Nimbus. "O'Malley," Admiral Rogers roared, rushing to the dock. "You've done it, and you've brought a weather charm with you. Remarkable." Nimbus, stepping onto the dock, his form solidifying slightly, offered Admiral Rogers a bow. "Greetings, Sea Elder. Your ground dwellers are indeed rich in disorganized mirth, and possess a unique capacity for surviving chaotic atmospheric anomalies. We shall begin the Sky 2C summit, but first, perhaps more of that ice cream." Finn O'Malley grinned. "Penny, let's show our cloud friends some genuine terrestrial hospitality. Chester, get the pygmy hippos. Gruber, prepare the barbecue. Perk, fire up the ukulele band. And Rusty, old boy, I think Admiral Rogers might be interested in a new weather forecasting unit for the Guano Archipelago. Something to cheer up our dear Admiral, perhaps a humming harpy wind vane." Admiral Rogers, now fully embracing the delightful absurdity of Ila Benita, merely chuckled, a sound that brought a worried glance from Nimbus, who had, apparently, discovered the delights of terrestrial humor. Pifflepratt, on his distant island, might be stuck with the boobies, but his nemesis, Finn O'Malley, had truly ascended, bridging worlds and bringing a new brand of harmonious chaos to the South Pacific. The next daily incident report was surely going to be legendary. The Sky 2C Cultural Summit on Isla Bonita proved to be another resounding, if utterly unconventional, triumph for Finn O'Malley. Nimbus, the representative of the Cloud People, charmed Admiral Rogers with his serene wisdom and a surprising fondness for Polynesian dance music. His ability to manifest gentle breezes on command made outdoor events remarkably comfortable, much to everyone's relief. The pygmy hippos, once a source of Pifflepratt's unending consternation, had formed an unlikely bond with Nimbus, often huddling around him as he hummed, their snuffles vibrating in tranquil harmony. Admiral Rogers, increasingly fond of Isla Bonita's unique blend of strategic importance and relaxed lunacy, decided to permanently establish a cultural harmonization liaison office on the island, with Finn O'Malley at its head. His dispatches to Fortress Apex spoke of unprecedented diplomatic breakthroughs through innovative, community-based engagement, deliberately omitting any mention of chucklefish or pyrophoric chefs. Piffleprat, meanwhile, on his guano archipelago, was experiencing a profound existential crisis. Commander Quill's most recent, exceedingly long and densely worded dispatch to Ilabani reported on Piffleprat's increasingly desperate attempts to communicate with the screeching boobies. He had even tried fashioning them tiny garter belts, believing it might somehow regulate their aggressive nesting instinct, only to be met with furious pecking and a particularly potent barrage of guano. Piffleprat's mind was now a swirling vortex of boobies, bureaucratic jargon, and profound O'Malley-induced paranoia. Commander O'Malley, Penny Parker declared one sunny afternoon, breaking Finn's concentration as he meticulously trained a pygmy hippo to salute. Admiral Rogers has authorized the new Coral Reef Resuscitation Project, a vital ecological initiative to restore the damaged reefs around the Dragon's Tooth Shoals. It requires extensive underwater operations, utilizing experimental submersibles, and it's considered high. Finn's eyes lit up. Underwater operations. Penny. Experimental submersibles. This sounds like a challenge for Gruber's mechanical genius, and Perk's knack for documenting rare aquatic flora and fauna. What could possibly go wrong down there? Penny merely gave him the look. Everything, Captain, everything below sea level is infinitely more complex. Admiral Rogers, observing from his shaded veranda, called out, and, O'Malley, this mission is of utmost importance. The Dragon's Tooth Shoals are a nesting ground for the glimmering groper, a species essential to the reef ecosystem, and Commander Sterling and his team from the Triumphant will be providing expert logistical support. No unnecessary heroics. O'Malley, we're looking for scientific rigor, not spontaneous theatricals. Piff, having somehow triangulated his booby feather antenna to intercept a snippet of this conversation, shrieked into his crude radio. Glimmering groper, O'Malley. Beware the groper's revenge. Legend has it has a fierce, territorial disposition and a particular aversion to improperly maintained submersibles. Sterling is his minion. This is a trap, a marine trap, I tell you. Mark my words in submersible mantras. His voice faded amidst a chorus of aggrieved boobies. The mission to Dragon's Tooth Shoals began with Commander Sterling, looking impossibly pristine in his custom-designed diving suit, deploying a sleek state-of-the-art submersible from the Triumphant. Finn's crew, meanwhile, prepared their own experimental submersible, a salvaged bathysphere from a decommissioned research vessel, heavily modified by Gruber with an external pineapple dispenser and a rudimentary chuckerfish attractant device. Commander O'Malley, Sterling announced over the comms, his voice dripping with condescension. My submersible, the Abyss Dancer, boasts unparalleled maneuverability and advanced sonar mapping. We shall systematically catalog the reef damage. Your contraption will, I presume, be relegated to supporting roles, perhaps clearing debris. Finn merely chuckled. As you wish, Commander Sterling, but remember, the sea holds many secrets, and sometimes, the best maps are drawn by instinct. Below the waves, the Coral Reef Resuscitation Project unfolded with predictable chaos. Sterling's team diligently catalogued damage, while Finn's explored with enthusiastic abandon. Its pineapple dispenser attracting not only schools of curious fish, but also a particularly territorial and notoriously aggressive giant squid known locally as Squidzilla. Skipper Perk Willoughby yelled over the comms from the guppy, his voice trembling. Squidzilla is directly ahead. Its tentacles are longer than the PT-73, and it appears to be rather upset by our Finn, however, noticed something else, a flicker of iridescent light. Penny, the glimmering groper. It's reacting to Squidzilla's aggression. The groper is showing distress. This is critical for the reef's balance. Sterling, hearing this, immediately responded. O'Malley, do not engage. Squidzilla is a class for marine hazard. Retrieve your submersible immediately. You are endangering your crew and the entire mission. But Finn had another idea. Gruber, activate the tropical tranquilizer system. Chester, aim the pineapple dispenser directly at Squidzilla's most prominent eye. And Penny, prepare for the Great Groper relocation maneuver. Gruber's tropical tranquilizer system, a repurposed fire hose modified to spray a concoction of pureed mango and coconut rum, launched a potent stream directly at the giant squid, startled and then strangely mellowed by the fruity liquor, momentarily paused its aggressive posturing, its enormous eyes blinking in confusion. Chester, seizing the moment, hit it with a perfectly aimed pineapple, causing Squidzilla to slowly drift off, seemingly contemplating the sudden philosophical implications of a flying pineapple. In the confusion, Finn and Penny executed the Great Groper relocation maneuver. Using strategically placed underwater noise, they gently guided the distressed glimmering groper away from Squidzilla's territory, moving it to a safer, undamaged section of the reef. Sterling, emerging from his submersible, was speechless. His eyes widened at the sight of Squidzilla, now gently nudging a coral outcrop, seemingly lost in a Romanmago-induced reverie. O'Malley, what in heaven's name was that? Finn O'Malley merely shrugged. Cultural sensitivity. Commander Sterling, the local marine life has a particular fondness for fermented tropical fruits. It's a delicate balance. You see, sometimes, a touch of gentle persuasion works wonders. Admiral Rogers, receiving a highly embellished report from Finn, which somehow managed to make the giant squid seem like a cooperative research subject, and the pineapple dispenser a scientific instrument, declared the coral reef resuscitation project an outstanding success. He even personally requested a batch of tropical tranquilizer system for future diplomatic negotiations. Piffle-Pratt, on his distant Guano archipelago, was experiencing a profound psychotic break. Quill's latest report stated that Piffle-Pratt had begun painting the boobies in iridescent colors, convinced he was creating a submersible camouflage initiative. His transmissions were now indistinguishable from the booby squawks, filled with frantic cries of groper garter belts and Squidzilla's ukulele serenade. Commander Quill, for his part, had developed a nervous tic in his left eye. Finn O'Malley, as ever, had defied logic and triumphed. The coral reefs were on their way to recovery. The glimmering groper was safe, and Isla Bonita's reputation for innovative, if bizarre, solutions to complex problems only grew. The next day, the PT-73 was due for a new mission, and knowing Finn, it would be another epic tale of chaos, ingenuity, and pure, unadulterated comedy. The triumphs and tribulations of Commander Finn O'Malley continued to unfold with operatic flair on Isla Bonita, each success baffling the conventional, and every mishap only adding to his legendary status. Admiral Rogers, now fully entrenched in the island's charm, treated the daily incident reports from Finn's command as his morning entertainment, often chuckling over the creative excuses for destroyed equipment or impromptu diplomatic festivals. Commander Quill, meanwhile, had reached the zenith of his administrative suffering. His last dispatch from the Guano archipelago detailed Admiral Piffle-Pratt's attempt to teach the screeching boobies classical ballet, culminating in Piffle-Pratt falling into a guano pit while demonstrating. Quill himself, in a moment of existential despair, admitted to attempting to cross-reference booby mating calls with the serial numbers of stolen garter belts, finding an eerie correlation. Admiral Rogers, finding Quill's increasingly unhinged reports disturbing even for Isla Bonita, finally reassigned him to a padded room at a remote psychiatric facility, disguised as a top-secret administrative review board. With Quill gone and Piffle-Pratt essentially in, a new void appeared in Finn O'Malley's adversarial landscape. But fate, and Admiral Rogers' unending penchant for goodwill initiatives, soon provided a fresh antagonist. "Commander O'Malley," Penny Parker announced, entering Finn's office one breezy morning. Finn was busy attempting to teach a newly adopted glimmering groper how to play darts, using miniature chucklefish as projectiles. "Admiral Rogers has a new directive. To foster cultural exchange with our terrestrial neighbors, we are to host the Grand Imperial Regatta of the Emerald Coast, featuring the famously pompous Imperial Fleet of the Kingdom of Viridia. Their leader, Emperor Commodus VIII, is known for his extravagant displays and meticulous adherence to archaic rules of chivalry and honor." Finn O'Malley's eyes twinkled. Viridia. Sounds like a job for Gruber's historical, marine recalibrators and Chester's regal etiquette and pomp division. What an opportunity for some good old-fashioned Viridian cultural immersion. Admiral Rogers, who had walked in just in time to hear this, leaned against the doorway, a wry smile on his face. "And, O'Malley, I expect you to uphold the honor of the combined forces. Emperor Commodus VIII has a particular disdain for unconventional tactics. He'll be arriving with his prized battleship, the Imperial Grandeur, and his top fleet commander, Grand Admiral Tiberius, a man whose reputation for strict adherence to the rules is second only to his ego. No rogue waves. O'Malley, no surprise, pygmy hippo diversions understood." Understood, Admiral. We shall embody the very essence of Viridian honor, Finn declared, saluting smartly. Then, he whispered to Penny, but remember, Penny, in the grand scheme of Viridian honor, a little bit of creative interpretation can sometimes be the most honorable path. The Imperial Regatta of the Emerald Coast was an event of breathtaking pomp and ceremony. Emperor Commodus VIII, a portly monarch adorned with so many medals he gleamed like a Christmas tree, arrived on Isla Bonita aboard the Imperial Grand, a battleship so large it cast a shadow over half the harbor. Grand Admiral Tiberius, a man whose jawline was as sharp as his ironed uniform creases, looked down his nose at Finn O'Malley's motley crew. The regatta was not a race, but a series of elaborate naval drills designed to showcase Viridian precision. Finn O'Malley, at the helm of the PT-73, was expected to perform simple maneuvers in coordination with the Imperial grandeur. Commander O'Malley, Grand Admiral Tiberius's voice boomed over the comms, cold and imperious. Prepare for Imperial maneuver, a precise, synchronized turn, demonstrating unparalleled coordination. Follow the Imperial grandeur, exactly, deviate by even a hair's breadth, and you shall dishonor us all. Finn merely grinned. As you wish, Grand Admiral. Isla Bonita is honored to participate in Viridian splendor. The drill began. The Imperial grandeur, a behemoth of steel, executed a majestic, sweeping turn. Finn's PT-73, however, veered wildly off course, narrowly missing a strategically placed decorative buoy. Tiberius's voice roared. O'Malley, you are off course. A disgraceful display. This is an insult to Viridian honor. Finn, however, was already shouting. Gruber, release the Emerald Eel emergency flare. Chester, activate the singing siren distress call. Perk, prepare the divergent deep-sea drag. Pandemonium erupted. Gruber's Emerald Eel emergency flare, a repurposed flare gun loaded with a homemade mixture of iridescent dye and highly flammable phosphorescent algae, shot into the sky, creating a dazzling, swirling green cloud that momentarily blinded the Imperial Grandeur's bridge. Chester's singing siren distress call, a series of amplified whale songs blasted through the PT-73's loudspeakers, confused the Imperial Grandeur's sonar and navigation systems. And Perk's divergent deep-sea drag anchor, a modified anchor attached to a tangle of old fishing nets, somehow managed to snag the Imperial Grandeur's propeller, slowing the mighty battleship to a confused crawl. Finn O'Malley, in the ensuing chaos, found himself piloting the PT-73 straight into a hidden cove that Tiberius, in his rigid adherence to pre-planned routes, had overlooked. In this cove, they found something entirely unexpected, a rare, ancient Viridian ceremonial jewel, the Eye of Triton, lost centuries ago and rumored to bestow eternal good fortune upon its bearer. Tiberius, finally clearing the green smoke, looked around in utter fury. O'Malley, you have completely subverted the exercise. You have humiliated the Imperial grandeur. Finn O'Malley, holding the sparkling Eye of Triton aloft, replied with a magnanimous smile. On the contrary, Grand Admiral Tiberius, we merely deviated from the expected path to demonstrate an invaluable lesson in Viridian history. Behold, the Eye of Triton, rediscovered through the valiant, if unconventional, efforts of Isla Bonita, and honor restored, I believe, for the kingdom of Viridian. Emperor Commodus VIII, observing the entire chaotic recovery, lumbered over, his eyes wide at the sight of the fabled jewel. The Eye of Triton. Commander O'Malley, you have not subverted Viridian honor. You have elevated it. You have shown us that true honor lies not in rigid adherence to old paths, but in courageous, innovative discovery. You are a man of profound wisdom, O'Malley. He then pinned a gaudy, enormous medal onto Finn's chest, much to Tiberius's silent horror. Admiral Rogers, witnessing the spectacle, merely shook his head, a wry smile on his face. O'Malley, you are truly a master of turning the absurd. I'm afraid I underestimated your capacity for positive disruption. He cast a glance at Tiberius, who looked as though he was about to spontaneously combust. Grand Admiral Tiberius, perhaps your definition of honor could benefit from some expansion. Commander O'Malley and his crew shall host a Viridian Valor Festival to celebrate this rediscovery. You are, of course, invited, and I insist you try the The Grand Imperial Regatta of the Emerald Coast concluded not with strict drills, but with a magnificent festival of feasting, and increasingly bewildered Viridian officers being coaxed into performing the Chucklefish conga line, led by Chester O'Malley. For Finn, it was another day, another victory, and another jewel in Isla Benita's increasingly colorful crown. Meanwhile, on the Guano archipelago, Admiral Pifflepratt received a garbled transmission detailing the recovery of the Eye of Triton. He shrieked, tearing at his hair. Triton's eye. O'Malley has conspired with sea deities now. He's utterly mad. Mad, I tell you. Mark my words, in Atlantis scrolls. His voice was, as usual, drowned out by the outraged squawks of 100 screeching boobies, who are now reportedly showing signs of developing aggressive chucklefish addictions. After Quill's latest attempt at booby appeasement involved experimental giggle-inducing fish treat, Quill, according to his latest semi-coherent dispatch, had begun believing he was a booby and was attempting to communicate solely through elaborate squawks and wing gestures. The cycle of madness continued. The Viridian Valor Festival was a spectacle of boisterous camaraderie and joyous cultural exchange, concluding with Emperor Commodus VIII bestowing upon Finn O'Malley an honorary Viridian title, wielder of the whimsical current, finder of the lost sparkle. Grand Admiral Tiberius, though maintaining a stoic facade, was seen at one point reluctantly attempting a synchronized swim with a pygmy hippo, only to be thoroughly outmaneuvered by the nimble creature. The influence of Isla Benita, Finn's domain of glorious chaos, was undeniably spreading. Admiral Rogers, now an avid connoisseur of water buffalo ice cream and a surprisingly deft ukulele player, often mused about Finn's methods. O'Malley, he'd often say, you possess a unique knack for making the absurd seem strategically viable. It's both terrifying and deeply impressive. He had, by now, accumulated enough chukafish and local artifacts to open his own museum back at Fortress Apex, which Pifflepratt would later refer to as Admiral Rogers's curio of O'Malley-induced oddities. The very next Goodwill initiative presented a new, distinctly unnerving challenge. Commander O'Malley. Penny Parker announced one unusually, still mourning, her expression a mix of trepidation and curiosity. Admiral Rogers wants us to explore the silent isle of the somber sirens. It's a remote, mishrooded land rumored to be home to a reclusive, pacifist tribe known as the Whisperers, who possess an ancient artifact called the Echo of Eldoria, said to grant profound empathy. However, it's also said that the sirens themselves have a paralyzing gaze and only communicate through mournful, hypnotic songs. And, of course, no one who has ever heard their song has ever returned the same. Finn stroked his chin, a rare moment of genuine seriousness coloring his features. Silent sirens, hypnotic songs, and paralyzing gazes. This sounds less like a Goodwill initiative and more like a trip to the optometrist for a spiritual awakening. Penny, what are our standard operating procedures for dealing with paralyzing gazes and hypnotic melodies? Penny consulted her newly updated Isla Benita-specific regulations manual. Well, Captain, our standard operating procedure, as per our O'Malley's Guide to the States deploy Gruber's cacophony cannons for sonic disruption, Chess's mirror shields for ocular deflection, and Perk Willoughby's existential empathy electrolarynx for direct empathetic communication. Admiral Rogers, who was observing the planning session with an unusual intensity, interjected, and O'Malley, this mission is particularly sensitive. Commander Sterling has been dispatched to Shadow Path, a notoriously treacherous choke point leading to the Silent Isle. His mission is to establish a secure perimeter and provide any deviation, O'Malley, could lead to a breach of contact with the Whisperers, and possibly a fate worse than any booby-induced madness. Pifflepratt is actually quite obsessed with reports of these sirens from the remote islanders, raving about their beauty, despite their inherent danger. So tread carefully. Finn merely nodded, a thoughtful glint in his eye. Pifflepratt's booby feather, still miraculously functioning despite his mental state, picked up the key terms. Silent Isle, sirens, paralyzing gaze. He shrieked into his crude radio, his voice a series of manic caws mixed with human gibberish. Sirens, O'Malley, you fool. Their songs are beautiful but deadly. Like my new recipe for puffinfish marmalade, you will be hypnotized. You will be wearing garter belts made of kelp. Mark my words, enchanting whispers. The journey to the Silent Isle was eerily tranquil. The mists grew thicker, muffling all sound, save for the rhythmic chugging of the PT-73's engines. As they approached the shores, a haunting, ethereal melody began to drift across the water. The song of the somber sirens, subtle yet profoundly Skipper, Perk Willoughby whispered. I feel a strange urge to reorganize my sock drawer in alphabetical order by thread count, and to mourn for all the forgotten dust bunnies of the world. Chester O'Malley's eyes glazed over. Oh, skip the music. It makes me want to apologize to all the coconuts I've ever juggled imperfectly, and to understand the deep sorrow of a single, forgotten grain of sand. Penny Parker, though outwardly composed, admitted, Captain, I feel an overwhelming desire to reconcile all outstanding supply requisitions, and to hug Commander Sterling. A terrifying sensation, sir. Finn O'Malley, however, seemed unaffected. His gaze was fixed on the mists, his expression unreadable. He had, unbeknownst to his crew, consumed a specially prepared concoction from Chef Dubois, a highly pungent, incredibly bitter, anti-hypnotic elixir derived from local medicinal herbs, disguised as Commander O'Malley's special ocean fog cutter. It tasted like liquid despair, but it worked. Gruber, Finn barked, his voice cutting through the hypnotic melody. Activate the cacophony cannons. Chester, ready the mirror shields. Perk, engage the and for heaven's sake, someone give Penny a hug. She needs it more than I do. Gruber's cacophony cannons, a pair of monstrous loudspeakers repurposed from old foghorns, roared to life, blasting a deafening, discordant symphony of pygmy hippo grunts, chucklefish laughter, and Admiral Piffleprat's most indignant squawk. The sirens, mournful melody shattered, replaced by an auditory assault of glorious chaos. Simultaneously, Chester O'Malley, wearing a helmet made of highly polished seashells, deployed the mirror shields, an array of gleaming reflective panels that bounced the sirens. The sirens, startled by the chaotic noise, and blinded by their own reflected sorrow, recoiled, their ethereal forms shimmering in confusion. Finally, Perk Willoughby, donning a helmet with a microphone and a series of pulsating wires attached to his chest, engaged the empathy. His voice, electronically distorted but deeply resonant, boomed through the mist, broadcasting Admiral Rogers' official message of goodwill and empathy. It also, inadvertently, included Perk's heartfelt personal reflections on the beauty of brig cells and the quiet dignity of a well-maintained supply locker. The Whisperers, reclusive and cautious, emerged from the mists, intrigued by the cacophony and Perk's strange message. They were indeed a pacifist tribe, and their chief, Elder Kellen, a woman of profound serenity, approached the ground dwellers. Elder Kellen's voice resonated softly. Your cacophony is both unsettling and, strangely, your words, though distorted, speak of internal order amidst external chaos. And your Elder of the Seas, Admiral Rogers, truly understands the depth of our suffering. She indicated Perk's electro-larynx, which was still broadcasting Perk's lament for a lost rubber duck. Finn O'Malley, offering a genuine, if slightly fatigued, smile, stepped forward. Elder Kellen, we apologize for the exuberant introduction. We merely sought to cut through the local atmospheric interference. We come on behalf of Admiral Rogers to establish friendship and, if possible, to respectfully seek audience with your venerable artifact. The echo of Elder Kellen nodded. Your sincerity, ground dweller, is as clear as the unfogged waters. Come. But Commander Sterling, he who watches from the shadows of shadow paths, his gaze is narrow. It speaks of a lack of empathy. Sterling, watching from a distance, had seen the entire bizarre sequence. His narrow-mindedness, combined with the confusion of the cacophony cannons and mirror shields, made him believe Finn O'Malley had succumbed to a massive, multifaceted hallucination. He promptly dispatched a frantic, highly embellished report to Admiral Rogers, detailing O'Malley's apparent descent into madness, amidst a flurry of spectral visions and mind-altering sonic attacks. Admiral Rogers, however, now accustomed to Sterling's melodramatic reports, merely chuckled. He knew Finn was just being Finn. The echo of Eldoria, an artifact resembling a shimmering crystal made of solidified compassion, was revealed to Finn. Its profound empathetic properties made Penny tear up and even caused Gruber to admit to once accidentally using Admiral Rogers' favorite monocle as a makeshift wrench. The mission was a resounding success, culminating in Elder Kellen, agreeing to send a whisperer emissary to Isla Bonita for a future empathy summit. Back on Isla Bonita, Finn O'Malley relayed the triumphs to Admiral Rogers. So, Admiral, another successful goodwill initiative, empathy for all, and another potential ally for the combined forces. Admiral Rogers, now happily sipping coconut gin and wearing a hand-woven lei, nodded contentedly. Excellent. O'Malley, truly excellent. And Sterling's report quite colorful. He seems to think you've joined a cult of whistling jellyfish. Perhaps he needs some of that anti-hypnotic grog you mentioned. And O'Malley, I believe the Guano Archipelago is still experiencing certain behavioral challenges. A new urgent request from Commander Quill arrived, asking for protective earmuffs woven from chucklefish scale for himself and for Admiral Pifflepratt, who, apparently, has now developed an intense philosophical debate with a particularly aggressive booby named Commodus. O'Malley remains delightfully absurd. Finn O'Malley merely grinned, adjusting his newly acquired, subtly shimmering vest woven by the Whisperers. Isla Bonita's future was secured, his reputation as the most peculiar, yet undeniably effective, outpost in the Pacific cemented. As long as there were rules to bend, chaos to manage, and admirals to baffle, Commander Finn O'Malley and his crew would remain ready for their next glorious, improbable adventure. The tranquility following the Empathy Summit, though brief, was palpable on Isla Bonita. Elder Kellen's emissary, a gentle whisperer named Zephyr, floated serenely among the palm trees, his subtle gestures of empathy seemingly calming even the most boisterous of Finn's crew. Admiral Rogers, finding an unexpected inner peace, had begun penning a treatise on the Zen of strategic chaos, inspired by Finn's methods. Pifflepratt, on the Guano Archipelago, was last reported by a very strange Quill to be attempting to teach the screeching boobies interpretive dance, claiming it would unlock their innate strategic potential. Quill's final, almost illegible dispatch ended with a desperate plea for a very large, padded box with soundproofing and perhaps a nice warm cup of chamomile. Admiral Rogers, fearing for Quill's sanity, discreetly had Quill transferred to a remote creative arts therapy unit on a tranquil, medication-rich island, leaving Pifflepratt as the sole commander of the booby-infested rock. Commander O'Malley, Penny Parker announced one morning, breaking Finn's contemplation of a particularly complex pygmy hippo chess strategy. Admiral Rogers has a new interspecies exploration directive. He wants us to voyage to the unexplored submerged city of Aqua, a mythical underwater metropolis said to be inhabited by the Aqua Dwellers, an advanced aquatic civilization. Finn's eyes widened. An underwater city aqua. This sounds like a challenge for Gruber's subaquatic reconnaissance systems and Chester's innate talent for bartering with whatever underwater currency exists. What could possibly go wrong at the bottom of the ocean? Penny merely sighed, consulting her rapidly expanding handbook of inevitable catastrophes. Everything, Captain. The ocean depths are notoriously untransparent, and aquadwellers are rumored to communicate through bioluminescent light patterns, and possess technology centuries beyond our own. Not to mention, they are fiercely protective of the heartstone of the deep, their primary power source. Admiral Rogers, ever more adventurous in his Isla Bonita sabbatical, interjected, and, O'Malley, this mission has a special caveat. Commander Sterling, unfortunately, has been assigned to a highly classified underwater archaeology project nearby. He's utilizing a prototype deep-sea salvage submarine, the Nautilus II. Admiral Rogers expects full cooperation. O'Malley, no unscheduled encounters. This submersible technology is Finn merely grinned, adjusting his bespoke diving helmet, fashioned by Gruber from an old kettle and several fishing nets. Pifflepratt, meanwhile, on his booby island, somehow intercepted fragmented data from Sterling's prototype submarine. He shrieked into his sputtering radio. Aquadwellers. O'Malley, beware the Kraken of Kelp. IT is the ancient guardian. IT will confuse Sterling. And you, IT has garter belts woven from coral. Mark my words in bioluminescent screams. His transmission, as usual, ended in a frenzy of booby squawks and demented laughter. The journey to the submerged city of Aqua was an exercise in scientific Gruber's subaquatic reconnaissance system, a patchwork of blinking lights, repurposed depth gauges, and a strategically placed chucklefish, was attached to Finn's modified bath. The wet whistler, Chester and Perk, crammed into its tiny interior, were responsible for navigating. Skipper, Chester shouted over the comms, his voice muffled by the crackling underwater interference. My compass is pointing to a school of singing jellyfish, and Perk thinks he saw a Finn, observing from the PT-73 above, merely chuckled. Stay vigilant, boys. The ocean is full of surprises. Penny, tell Sterling we're making excellent progress in atmospheric to aquatic diplomatic integration. Sterling, in his sleek Nautilus II, had meticulously mapped a segment of the seafloor, his comms terse and professional. Commander O'Malley, my sonar indicates an anomaly, a large, unclassified bioluminescent signature. I advise extreme caution. It appears exceptionally enthusiastic. The anomaly was, indeed, exceptionally enthusiastic, though Wet Whistler, powered by Gruber's experimental deep-sea had blundered directly into an Aquadweller ceremonial parade. The Aquadwellers, a graceful, tentacled people, were celebrating the annual blooming of the glow coral, their city ablaze with vibrant, pulsating light patterns. Chester, startled by the sudden light show, accidentally activated the Wet Whistler's external pineapple dispenser, which promptly launched a flurry of fruit into the middle of the aquatic procession. Panic, in the Aquadweller sense, was a subtle thing. Their light patterns began to flash in confused, agitated sequences. Sterling's voice, sharp with indignation, crackled over the comms. O'Malley, you've caused a riot. Your pineapple missile has disrupted a deep-sea ceremony. Retrieve your submersible at once. Finn merely grinned. He had already spotted the heartstone of the deep, a pulsating emerald gem at the center of Aqua. Gruber, activate the bioluminescent boogie. Chester, aimed the chuckerfish at the heart. Perk, prepared to deploy the empathy emitter and make sure it broadcasts Admiral Rogers' treatise on strategic chaos. Gruber's bioluminescent boogie blast, a series of synchronized flashing lights and amplified chucklefish giggles, filled the Aqua City with a psychedelic disco rave. The Aqua began to respond with their own light patterns, evolving into complex rhythmic dances. Chester's chucklefish, propelled by tiny, custom-made propeller caps, danced gleefully around the heartstone, its infectious mirth resonating through the water. Perk's empathy emitter, a deep-sea transducer modified to play snippets of Admiral Rogers' Zen treatise, mixed with cheerful ukulele solos, broadcast a message of goodwill, chaos, theory, and the soothing sounds of Hawaiian strings. Sterling, in the Nautilus II, could only watch in horrified amazement as the Aquadwellers embraced Finn's chaotic overture. The traditional ceremony morphed into an impromptu underwater rave, pineapple chunks floating merrily through the neon-lit water. Admiral Rogers, upon receiving a truly epic report, Finn detailing the successful integration of terrestrial fruit dispersal methods into deep-sea ceremonial protocols, declared the mission an unprecedented success. Nimbus, observing from Isla Bonita, floated slightly higher in approval. Sterling's terse, indignant report, claiming unprecedented interspecies hedonism induced by illegal fruit distribution, was politely filed under marine biology. Curious phenomena. Piffle-Pratt, on his Guano archipelago, having somehow picked up Sterling's increasingly desperate transmissions, erupted in a paroxysm of rage. His latest dispatch, which Quill would have described as exhibiting tendencies toward aquatic avian fish hybridization psychosis, spoke of a monstrous kraken of kelp demanding pineapple reparations and threatening to ensnare the boobies in coral garter belts. Finn O'Malley, as ever, had found harmony in chaos. The Aquadwellers, it seemed, quite enjoyed rogue pineapples and disco lights. The diplomatic ties were forged, and the path to uncharted oceanic outposts now lay open, promising new adventures, new allies, and fresh chapters in the unending comedy of Isla Bonita. The next mission, Finn knew, would require even more creativity. The bioluminescent bogey blaster and the pineapple-propelled cultural exchange had opened new pathways, both literal and metaphorical, for Isla Bonita's diplomatic endeavors. Nimbus, the cloud person, now permanently residing on the island as the Sky-2C leader, found a quiet joy in watching the Aquadwellers' glowing emissaries arrive. Their synchronized light patterns, now subtly infused with chucklefish-induced. Admiral Rogers, emboldened by these successes, had penned a new directive, Operation Verdant Blue. Commander O'Malley, Penny Parker announced, her expression reflecting a weary but accepting resolve. Admiral Rogers has sanctioned Operation Verdant Bloom. We are to voyage to the phantom jungle of a colossal, undiscovered landmass, veiled in perpetual mist, rumored to be home to the Sylvan Sentinels, a sentient plant-based civilization and the elusive Sunstone of Serenity, which apparently controls the island's weather. Commander Sterling is already en route with his new experimental airship, the Cloud Clipper, providing aerial survey and perimeter control. Finn's eyes glinted with excitement. A sentient plant civilization, living in a phantom jungle, veiled in mist, and guarding a sunstone. This sounds like a challenge for Perk's botanical expertise, Chester's unerring sense of direction, and Gruber's ingenuity with, well, anything that involves a bit of wiring and a leaf blower. What could possibly go wrong in a botanical paradise? Penny sighed. Everything, Captain. Sentient plants are notoriously territorial. The mist causes extreme and the Sunstone of Serenity, while controlling the weather, is also said to unleash spontaneous petrifying pollen on intruders, not to mention Piffleprat's latest intercepted dispatch from Guano Archipelago, warning of botanical boobies that steal garter belts and camouflage themselves as Venus flowers. Indeed, Piffleprat's intercepted, increasingly delusional, transmissions were a daily feature. The transmission would always end with a cacophony of booby squawks and frustrated gurgling cries. The journey to the phantom jungle of Xerxes began. Sterling's sleek Cloud Clipper, a marvel of dirigible technology, soared gracefully above the misty expanse, its comms crisp with scientific observations. Finn, however, favored a more grounded approach. The Jungle Jumper, a PT-73 converted into an propeller-driven hovercraft by Gruber, chugged through the dense, fog-laden vegetation, its external chucklefish dispenser working overtime to part the mist. Commander O'Malley, Sterling's voice crackled over the comms, his tone tinged with thinly veiled amusement. My aerial surveys confirm unprecedented bioluminescent flora and fauna, suggesting advanced ecological systems. Your surface craft appears to be causing some significant localized atmospheric disturbances, and a trail of highly aromatic peanut butter, Commander O'Malley. Finn merely chuckled. That's our environmental soil nutrient distribution system, Commander Sterling. Very organic, and highly effective for invigorating local flora. Below, the phantom jungle of Xerxes was a bewildering, vibrant tapestry of colossal, luminescent plants, trees with glowing fruit, flowers that sang in silent harmonies, and enormous ferns that pulsed with a gentle rhythm created a world unlike any other. However, the omnipresent mist made navigation a dizzying ordeal. Skipper, Chester O'Malley shouted over the comms from the Jungle Jumper, his voice muffled by the thick fog. My internal compass is pointing to a gigantic, glowing mushroom that smells like banana bread, and Perk thinks he saw a tree that just winked at him. Finn, true to his diplomatic mission, prepared for first contact. He instructed Perk to carefully deploy the melodious mistletoe mutator, a device designed by Gruber, to emit a harmonized botanical frequency. Simultaneously, Chester was to activate the giggling gourd grapevine by gently tickling a specially prepared, enormous gourd, hoping to induce friendly vibrations among the Sylvan Sentinels. But as Perk activated the melodious mistletoe mutator, a high-pitched, harmonic whine echoed through the jungle. The mist began to churn violently, and immense tree-like figures, their branches bristling with leaves like sentient hands, emerged from the fog. These were the Sylvan Sentinels, and they did not look amused. Their collective murmur, a low, rustling sound, expressed irritation at the intrusive botanical frequency. O'Malley, Sterling's voice shrieked over the comms. You've angered the flora. My airship is being pelted with highly concentrated, bioluminescent sticky and what is that horrible, high-pitched OFF key humming coming from your craft? Finn O'Malley, however, noticed something else. The agitated Sylvan Sentinels, in their frustration, were unconsciously releasing plumes of the infamous petrifying pollen. The mist glowed with an eerie, shimmering aura, threatening to turn anyone exposed into botanical statues. Finn barked commands. Gruber, activate the anti-pollen parasol purifier. Chester, deploy the friendly fungal. And Penny, get ready for the Sunstone Seeker shuffle. Gruber's anti-pollen parasol purifier, a repurposed industrial fan, armed with a filter woven from giant spider silk and chucklefish scales, roared to life, creating a localized clear zone around the Jungle Jumper, dissipating the petrifying pollen. Simultaneously, Chester's friendly fungal foghorn, A series of amplified mushroom trumpets blasted a deep, booming sound that resonated through the jungle, momentarily stunning the Sylvan sentinels. Penny, using the distraction, executed the Sunstone Seeker Shuffle. Guided by Perk's surprising intuition, she piloted the jungle jumper directly towards the heart of the jungle. There, pulsating with a gentle, warming light, rested the Sunstone of Serenity, the source of the jungle's enigmatic weather control. As Penny approached the Sunstone, the Sylvan sentinels, sensing their power source being accessed, converged, their leafy branches poised to strike. But then, Finn O'Malley activated his final device. A special tank of aqua dwellers, brought specifically for deep jungle, high-humidity diplomatic endeavors. The aqua dwellers, with their mesmerizing bioluminescent patterns, began to glow and shift in harmonious synchronization with the Sunstone's light. The Sylvan sentinels paused, their agitation giving way to fascination. They had never witnessed such aquatic grace. The mist, previously thick with pollen, began to thin, revealing patches of bright, invigorating sunshine. The jungle itself seemed to hum with newfound serenity. Sterling, observing from the now sap-covered cloud clipper, was utterly bewildered. His senses registered harmonious plant-life communication, synchronized aquatic light shows, and a complete cessation of atmospheric disturbances. O'Malley, what is this horticultural witchcraft? Finn O'Malley merely winked. Just a bit of interspecies synergy. Commander Sterling, a harmonious blend of botanical goodwill and oceanic wisdom. You see, all life, even sentient plants, appreciates a good light show and a bit of thoughtful cross-pollination. Admiral Rogers, upon receiving Finn's report, detailing the successful integration of light patterns into Sylvan Sentinel diplomacy and the recovery of the Sunstone for optimal atmospheric stabilization, declared Operation Verdant Bloom a phenomenal success. Nimbus nodded sagely, observing the jungle's newfound tranquility. Sterling's indignant report, alleging eco-terrorism involving luminescent fungus and aquatic hypnosis, was, as usual, politely filed away. Piffleprat, on his Guano archipelago, was experiencing a profound breakthrough in his delusion. Quill's replacement, a battle-hardened, utterly unflappable naval psychiatrist named Dr. Mike, sent specifically to assess Piffleprat, reported that Piffleprat had become convinced the Sunstone of Serenity was actually a giant, petrified garter belt, and he was now teaching the boobies to fly in intricate patterns, believing they were reenacting an ancient Sylvan dance to control the weather. Dr. Mindbender had apparently started taking notes in interpretive dance moves. Finn O'Malley, as ever, had not only succeeded in his mission but had transformed it into an unprecedented spectacle. The Sylvan Sentinels, and even Nimbus, now formed part of Isla Bonita's ever-growing, bewilderingly diverse diplomatic network. The Phantom Jungle had been unveiled, the Sunstone recovered, and the world, Finn knew, was simply awaiting its next grand, glorious, and utterly O'Malley-esque adventure. The accolades from Operation Verdant Bloom had barely settled across Isla Bonita's vibrant shores when Admiral Rogers, now a frequent participant in Pygmy Hippo chess tournaments, announced his most ambitious and peculiar initiative yet, Operation Cosmic Chorus. Commander O'Malley, Penny Parker declared, her voice laced with an unusual blend of awe and pragmatic dread. Admiral Rogers has authorized Operation Cosmic Chorus. We are to voyage to the newly discovered wandering asteroid of Zenith, a colossal, free-floating space rock that has inexplicably entered our solar system. It is rumored to be home to the Starweavers, a technologically advanced, crystalline-based extraterrestrial civilization, and the Cosmic Baton, an artifact said to conduct the very symphony of the universe. Commander Sterling, unfortunately, is already en route with his prototype Deep Space Explorer, the Stellar Sentinel, providing interstellar navigation and resource assessment. Finn's eyes, usually gleaming with mischief, now reflected a deeper, almost profound curiosity. Starweavers, you say, conducting the symphony of the universe. This sounds like a challenge for Gruber's gravitational torsion time warp calibrators, Chester's diplomatic celestial barter basket, and Perk's knack for documenting alien botanical cosmic formations. What could possibly go wrong in the vast, silent void of space? Penny, despite her seasoned pragmatism, hesitated. Everything. Captain, the Starweavers are said to be beings of pure thought, sensitive to emotional discord, and their crystalline ships, the Harmony vessel, are impervious to our conventional weapons, not to mention Piffle-Pratt's latest, utterly frantic, dispatch from the Guano Archipelago. Now communicating solely through elaborate booby squawks, an interpretive cosmic ballet, reported that Piffle-Pratt believes the asteroid of Zenith is a giant, rogue garter belt, and he's attempting to launch himself into space using a catapult fashioned from a colossal booby nest, convinced he can realign the celestial garment. Indeed, Piffle-Pratt's intercepted transmissions were now beyond parody. Dr. Mindbender's interpretive cosmic ballet messages were deciphered by Nimbus, who found a peculiar beauty in their discordant patterns. To reveal Piffle were actually cosmic seamstresses who had mistakenly detached a celestial garter belt, and only he, Reginald Piffle-Pratt, could reattach it to the universe. The journey to the wandering asteroid of Zenith was a triumph of improvisation and sheer audacity. Finn's flagship for this venture was the Cosmic Coconut, APT-73, heavily modified by Gruber with salvaged rocket boosters, repurposed Chucklefish oxygens, and a rudimentary celestial snack dispenser. Commander O'Malley, Sterling's voice, cold and precise, crackled over the interstellar comms from the Stellar Sentinel. My preliminary scans of the asteroid of Zenith indicate a complex network of crystalline structures and highly advanced energy fields. Your rocket-powered bathtub is currently interfering with our subspace frequency. And is that a continuous emission of Chucklefish giggles from your craft, Commander O'Malley, for interstellar diplomacy? Finn merely chuckled. That's our harmonious galactic vibration field, Commander Sterling, designed to establish immediate, positive rapport. The Chucklefish are essential for maintaining optimal cosmic humor levels. As they neared the asteroid of Zenith, they witnessed a sight that transcended comprehension. Gigantic crystalline ships, the Harmony vessels, shimmered in the starlight, their forms shifting like liquid rainbows. The Starweavers, ethereal beings of shimmering light, moved within these vessels, communicating through intricate patterns of pure energy. "Skipper," Chester O'Malley shouted over the comms, his voice filled with childlike wonder. Their spaceships look like giant disco balls, and Perk thinks he saw a Starweaver wink at him in 5 different dimensions. Finn, true to his diplomatic calling, initiated contact. He had Gruber launch a special cosmic welcome basket, a modified torpedo, softly propelled, carrying a selection of water buffalo ice cream, Viridian ceremonial chocolate, and a perfectly ripened chocolate. The basket drifted towards a large, iridescent Harmony vessel. The Starweavers, pure thought forms, analyzed the offering with silent, pulsating energy. Then, a dazzling light pattern, resonating with curious intrigue, emanated from their vessel. They had never encountered such terrestrial enthusiasm. Sterling's voice shrieked over the comms. "O'Malley, you've made first contact with Confections. The Starweavers are pure energy. They don't eat. You've insulted them. I am preparing a full defensive shield against your reckless, sugar-based intervention." Finn, however, noticed something else. The Starweavers' light patterns were now incorporating the vibrant hues of the water buffalo ice cream, their pulsating energy harmonizing with the subtle hum of the chuckle fruit. They seemed intrigued by the sensory experience. Finn barked commands. "Gruber, activate the Celestia Conga Cordial Cascade. Chester, prepare the Stellar Sambar system. And Penny, get ready for the Cosmic Baton Baffle Blitz." Gruber's Celesti Conga Cordio Cascade, a repurposed fire suppression system now modified to spray a shimmering, edible cloud of coconut rum and mango juice, filled the space around the Harmony vessel with a fragrant, glittery mist. The Starweavers, pure thought forms, absorbed the delightful sensory input, their crystalline bodies shimmering with heightened resonance. Chester's Stellar Samba system, a series of amplified ukulele solos and pygmy hippo grunts, blasted through the Cosmic Coconut's external speakers, causing the crystalline structures of the Starweavers' ships to vibrate with surprising joy. Penny, navigating the Cosmic Coconut with a precision born of years of O'Malley-induced improvisation, executed the Cosmic Baton Baffled Blitz. Guided by Nimbus, she maneuvered the Cosmic Coconut towards the largest Harmony vessel. Inside, shimmering at its heart, was the Cosmic Baton, a pulsating crystal staff. Sterling, observing from the Stellar Sentinel, was utterly bewildered. His senses registered harmonious alien interactions, synchronized crystalline light dances, and a continuous cascade of what he identified as unauthorized, high-sugar content cosmic residue. O'Malley, what is this intergalactic disco diplomacy? Finn O'Malley, merely with just a bit of harmonious galactic synergy. Commander Sterling, a blend of celestial good humor and stellar samba. You see, even beings of pure thought appreciate a good beat and a well-chilled cordial. Admiral Rogers, receiving a truly epic dispatch from Finn detailing the successful application of terrestrial confectionery-based rapport-building protocols with advanced crystalline entity, declared Operation Cosmic Chorus a phenomenal success. Nimbus nodded sagely, finding the entire affair terrestrially delightful. Sterling's indignant report, alleging first contact compromised by sugar-induced extraterrestrial hedonism, was, as usual, politely filed away under unexplained celestial phenomena. Piffleprat, on his Guano archipelago, was experiencing an epic, multi-dimensional delusion. Dr. Mindbanetta's increasingly frantic and entirely interpretive dispatches were now untranslatable by even Nimbus. The last decipherable fragments spoke of Piffleprat believing the cosmic baton was a giant, sentient garter belt, and he was now teaching the boobies to fly in intricate cosmic formations. Convinced they were performing a galactic regartering ceremony for the universe. Dr. Mindbender, it was inferred, had likely embraced his inner booby and joined the cosmic garter belt squadron. Finn O'Malley, as ever, had not only succeeded but had forged new alliances beyond the stars, turning cosmic chaos into intergalactic conviviality. The Star Weavers, the Sylvan Sentinels, and even Eunice now formed Isla Benita's ever-expanding, bewilderingly diverse diplomatic network. The wandering asteroid of Zenith had become a beacon of harmonious chaos, and the universe, Finn knew, was simply awaiting its next grand, glorious, and utterly O'Malley-esque adventure. The Cosmic Chorus had expanded Isla Benita's diplomatic reach to the very fringes of the known universe, earning Finn O'Malley a commendation from Admiral Rogers that simply read, "O'Malley, outstandingly baffling, carry on." Nimbus, the cloud person, often conversed with the Star Weavers via intricate light patterns woven through Isla Benita's very atmosphere, turning evening skies into dazzling celestial ballets. Admiral Rogers, now writing haikus about the metaphysical properties of chucklefish, seemed more content than ever. Piffleprat, on the Guano archipelago, remained lost to the depths of his booby garter belt cosmic seamstress delusion. His radio transmissions, now consisting of high-pitched whistles and random naval jargon punctuated by was still collected by a lonely intern at Fortress Apex, who had begun translating them into avant-garde poetry. Commander O'Malley, Penny Parker announced one brisk morning, interrupting Finn's attempt to teach a pygmy hippo to play the theremin. Admiral Rogers has a new temporal cultural reintegration initiative. We are to voyage to the rumored lost island of Kronos, a mysterious landmass believed to exist outside the normal flow of time. Inhabited by the Kronos Keepers, an ancient civilization said to possess the Epoch Amulet, an artifact capable of manipulating temporal currents. Finn's eyes, having witnessed the cosmic and the botanical, now shone with a profound, almost philosophical wonder. A lost island outside time, Kronos Keepers, manipulating temporal currents. This sounds like a challenge for Gruber's time warp turbulence stabilizers, Chester's historical snack crash and distribution unit, and Perk's innate ability to accidentally alter historical events through sheer clumsiness. What could possibly go wrong when playing with the very fabric of existence? Penny, having grown weary of everything, merely offered a generalized sigh. Everything, Captain, temporal paradoxes, existential anomalies, and the Kronos Keepers are notoriously strict about preserving historical integrity, not to mention Piffleprat's latest poetic dispatch, which, if my amateur translation is correct, speaks of temporal boobies stealing garter belts from the dinosaurs and attempting to re-garter the Cretaceous period. Indeed, Piffleprat's poetic dispatches, translated by the bewildered Fortress Apex intern, read, "Ooh, O'Malley, the temporal rogue, thy PT-273, boobies of the Mesozoic age. With garter belts, upon life's stage, they'll steal your socks and warp the hour. From Cretaceous doom, thy mighty power. Mark my words in geologic sigh, before the temporal pterodactyl flies." The voyage to the lost island of Kronos began aboard the time travel, a PT-73 meticulously modified by Gruber, with salvaged chronometers, repurposed quantum flux capacity, and a rudimentary temporal drift stabilizer. Commander O'Malley, Sterling's voice, surprisingly calm but undeniably smug, crackled over the quantum comms from his new prototype temporal distortion cruiser, the Event Horizon. He had been tasked with establishing a secure temporal perimeter. My preliminary chronoscans of the Chronos Rift indicate a severe probability flux. Your chronically challenged coconut craft is currently registering as a historical anomaly in 3 different time streams. And is that a continuous emission of 18th century sea shanties from your craft, Commander O'Malley, for temporal diplomacy? Finn merely chuckled. That's our diachronic harmonization signal, Commander Sterling, designed to establish immediate, historically appropriate rapport. The sea shanties are essential for bridging the temporal key. As the time traveler breached the swirling mists surrounding the lost island of Chrono, they found themselves in a landscape utterly unlike anything they had ever witnessed. Lush, primordial forests stood beside futuristic chrysolite cities. Roman legions marched alongside steam-powered robots, and dinosaurs grazed peacefully next to her. The Chronos Keepers, enigmatic figures clad in shifting robes of pure light, observed from tall temporal spires, their gazes ancient and unwavering. "Skipper," Chester O'Malley shouted over the comms, his voice filled with delightful bewilderment. "Perk is talking to a T-Rex about naval uniform regulations, and Gruber is trying to trade a cuttlefish for a Roman centurion's helmet." Finn, true to his diplomatic calling, initiated contact. He had Gruber deploy a special historical hospitality hologram, a modified projection system that beamed images of various historical figures, a Neanderthal sharing water buffalo ice cream with a Victorian gentleman, towards the Chronos Keeper's spires. The images, accompanied by a surprisingly catchy temporal conga beat, pulsed across the fluctuating time. The Chronos Keepers, beings of pure temporal essence, analyzed the offering. Then, a dazzling light pattern, pulsating with ancient wisdom and surprising amusement, emanated from their spires. They had never encountered such diachronically chaotic yet heartfelt enthusiasm. Sterling's voice shrieked over the comms. "O'Malley, you've caused a temporal anomaly. My chronogwagis are off the charts. You're distorting the space-time continuum with your hologrammed happiness. I am preparing to fire a temporal stasis field." Finn, however, noticed something else. The Chronos Keeper's light patterns were now incorporating the historical figures from Finn's holograms, their pulsating energy harmonizing with the subtle beats of the temporal conga. They seemed intrigued by the unexpected blend of anachronism and goodwill. Finn barked commands. "Gruber, activate the paradoxical polka pulse. Chester, prepare the existential and Penny, get ready for the epoch amulet amelioration maneuver." Gruber's paradoxical pulse, a series of synchronized temporal resonance emitters, filled the air with a dizzying, yet strangely catchy, polka beat, causing historical figures to spontaneously start dancing. The Chronos Keepers, pure temporio entities, absorbed the rhythmic vibrations, their crystalline forms shimmering with joyous and Chester's existential electrically charged pastries filled with hypercondensed chucklefish cream were deployed by when consumed by a time-traveling Viking. They induced instant, profound insight into the socio-economic implications of dragon boats. Penny, navigating the time traveler, with a finesse born of navigating cosmic tea parties and botanical rage, executed the epoch amulet amelioration maneuver. Guided by Nimbus, she maneuvered the time traveler towards the largest temporal spire. Inside, shimmering at its heart, was the epoch amulet, a pulsating crystal that controlled the very flow of time. Sterling, observing from the Event Horizon, was utterly bewildered. His sensors registered harmonious temporal interactions, synchronized historical dances, and a continuous stream of what he identified as unauthorized, sugar-induced, anachronistic merriment. "O'Malley, what is this? Temporal chaos, diplomacy?" Finn O'Malley merely winked. "Just a bit of harmonious chronological synergy, Commander Sterling. A blend of historical good humor and existential You see, even beings of pure temporal thought appreciate a good polka beat and a well-charged pastry." Admiral Rogers, receiving a truly epic dispatch from Finn detailing the successful application of historically themed, pastry-based wrapper-building protocols with advanced temporal entities, declared the mission an unprecedented success. Nimbus nodded sagely, finding the entire affair temporally delicious. Sterling's indignant report alleging first contact compromised by sugar-induced, anachronistic hedonism, causing severe damage to the space-time continuum, was, as usual, politely filed away under unexplained chronological anomalies. Piffleprat, on his Guano archipelago, had achieved a new level of delusion. Dr. Mindbender, his fellow booby, was now transmitting in a complex sequence of historical reenactments using boobies dressed in tiny garter belts. Convinced they were reenacting the regattering of the Cretaceous period, the intern at Fortress Apex was now openly weeping while attempting to translate these historical booby sagas into rhyming couplets. As Piffleprat himself was allegedly communicating solely through the shifting patterns of his personal, temporal booby droppings. Finn O'Malley, as ever, had not only succeeded but had forged new alliances across the dimensions of time itself. The Chronos Keepers, the Star Weavers, the Sylvan Sentinels, the Aquadwellers, Nimbus, King Zabazaba 7, and even Eunice now formed Ela beneath bewilderingly diverse diplomatic network. The lost island the Chronos had become a beacon of harmonious chaos, and the universe, Finn knew, was simply awaiting its next grand, glorious, and utterly O'Malley-esque adventure, stretching into the vast, delicious unknowns of eternity. Unfortunately for you and your gang of pirates, O'Malley, I'm still in one piece. And if you think that heroic stunt with that ridiculous cannon is going to do you one bit of good, just forget it. You're all going to Fort Doom. Every last one of you. Find them up. Carpenter. Charge them with insubordination, dereliction of duty, endangerment of naval personnel, and general Admiral Piffleprat roared, his voice cracking with the effort, pointing a trembling, mud-splattered finger at Finn O'Malley and his crew. His uniform, despite the day's calamities, was still miraculously pressed, but his face was a mosaic of fury and stray specks of cannonade. Chester O'Malley, still atop his gloriously smoking antique cannon, beamed proudly. Now, wait a minute, Admiral. Finn interjected, stepping forward, his hands raised in a gesture of diplomacy that only a seasoned rogue could pull off. Captain Piffleprat, I beg of you, look, give us a break, won't you? Won't you please give us just a little time to find that money, sir? A little time to retrieve the base payroll. Please, sir. Piffleprat cackled, a dry, bitter sound that scraped against the tropical air. A little time. Yes, sir. Well, never let it be said that Admiral Wallace B. Piffleprat wasn't a sport. O'Malley, for what time? I'll give you time. O'Malley, I'll give you precisely 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3, time's up. Commander Carpenter, apprehend these felons. But before Rusty Carpenter, looking utterly shattered and defeated, could move, a glint of gold caught Finn's eye. Lying partially obscured beneath the still-smoking barrel of Chester's cannon, scattered among debris and mud, were several crisp green rectangles. What is this? Finn exclaimed, his voice rising in surprise, not entirely feigned. He bent down, brushing away dirt. Hey, 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 look! It's a and a 50. Chester O'Malley, peering over Finn's shoulder, gasped. Oh boy, talk about manna from heaven. Skip, it's raining money. Penny Parker, her eyes narrowed in realization, nudged Finn. That's not manna, Skip. That's the payroll. It must have been stashed in the cannon by the actual thief. Commander O'Malley. They're right. Piffleprat, now completely bewildered, stumbled forward. What's going on here? What are these filthy rags? Is this another of your fiendish tricks, O'Malley? Finn straightened up, a triumphant, almost angelic smile on his face. He held up a fistful of $100 bills. There's your money, Admiral. The Port Nouvelle base payroll, recovered, in full, from the dastardly clutches of a cowardly thief and the accidental but magnificent heroism of my torpedo-man-/-cannon-operator, Chester O'Malley. Say, you two haven't met, have you, Admiral Piff? He gestured grandly to Chester, still grinning widely from his perch. Rusty Carpenter rushed forward, snatching a handful of the bills. His eyes widened. 42,365. Sir, these are my serial numbers. My wedding money. Piffleprat, reeling from the twin shocks of discovery and near-myth, could only stammer. I wasn't worried about a thing, Carpenter. I'm sure it's all there, you see. Finn O'Malley leaned in conspiratorially to well, it better be, Admiral Pip. So help me. Every last dollar better be accounted for. Here, huh? Rusty counted frantically. 42,366, sir. 42,367. Suddenly, the tropical wind, a fickle beast, whipped across the dock, snatching a few of the newly discovered $100 bills from Piffle Pratt's grasp and sending them spiraling into the water. Sorry, sir, Chester O'Malley called out innocently. Skip, just want to tell you, strong winds coming up, perhaps a typhoon. Admiral Piffle, don't put down your order. Give me your order. I mean, it's just the weather, sir. Piffle Pratt watched his marked money float away, his jaw working silently. He pointed a trembling finger at the culprits. Easy does it, Captain. Thank you. 1, 2, 3, 3. He spluttered, his grand pronouncements dissolving into a babbling string of numbers, his meticulous scheme having detonated right in his face. He finally crumpled onto a nearby crate, a portrait of utter, spectacular defeat. The dust of the Port Novel payroll incident eventually settled, leaving Admiral Piffle Pratt with a severe case of stress-induced laryngitis and an even deeper, more personal vendetta against Finn O'Malley. The recovered payroll meant that no formal charges could be pressed against Finn's crew, much to Piffle Pratt's gnashing frustration. Finn, Penny, and the gang, once again, had skirted the brig through a bewildering blend of sheer luck, dubious heroism, and the Admiral's spectacularly bad planning. Back on Isla Bonita, a new challenge emerged, disguised as an opportunity. Admiral Rogers, the high-ranking and notoriously finicky head of the South Pacific Command, still reeling from the diplomatic fallout of the Jahanpur incident and Piffle Pratt's hallucinations, decided to launch a grand cultural exchange program. The inaugural event was to be held with the proud, ancient, and notoriously unpredictable Kingdom of Zan. The Kingdom of Zan. Admiral Rogers' voice boomed over the secure transatlantic line, echoing through Piffle Pratt's now even more fortified office. Their monarch, King Zaba Zaba VII, is famed for his eccentricity, his collection of sacred pygmy hippos, and a particularly potent ceremonial brew that, legend has it, grants visions of one's ancestors. Most important, Piffle Pratt, is to impress upon them the strength and sophistication of His Majesty's combined forces. And, Piffle Pratt, you are in charge of coordinating this vital initiative. Every detail, no expense spared. This is a matter of paramount geopolitical importance. Piffle Pratt, still sporting a silk scarf to protect his larynx, grimaced. Yes, Admiral Rogers. Paramount, indeed. And may I humbly suggest that a certain Commander Finn O'Malley and his crew might be ideal for hosting the Zan. Their unique local knowledge and unconventional hospitality would surely endear them to the natives. His voice was hoarse, but his eyes glittered with fresh malice. He saw it, the perfect opportunity. These unpredictable islanders, paired with Finn's inherent chaos, would surely be his undoing. Admiral Rogers considered this. O'Malley, yes, Piffle Pratt, a bold suggestion. His reputation, though colorful, certainly precedes him. Very well. Assign O'Malley's crew to be the primary hosts, and Piffle, you are to oversee everything. Ensure no incidents occur. Oh, absolutely. Admiral Rogers, Piffle Pratt rasped, a villainous smile stretching his lips. No incidents whatsoever. This time, O'Malley, you're walking straight into the jaws of international diplomatic disaster. And one, Reginald, will be there to personally lock your cell door. Finn O'Malley, unaware of Piffle Pratt's renewed plotting, received the news with a mixture of bewilderment and reluctant excitement. Zanzibarica. Hey, Penny, what do we know about Zanzibar other than it sounds like a fancy fruit punch? Penny Parker, already poring over a thick tome labeled Indigenous Cultures of the South Pacific, sighed. Captain, the Zanzibaricans are a proud people. Their traditions are complex and highly nuanced. They believe in the spiritual significance of the Laughing Labyrinth, a sacred forest maze. Their main deity is the great green gecko of the deep, and they greet outsiders by presenting them with a chucklefish, a delicacy that, apparently, causes uncontrollable fits of mirth, and they are extremely sensitive to protocol. We cannot afford another Maharaja incident. Captain. Finn's eyes lit up. Uncontrollable fits of mirth. Sacred pygmy hippos. This sounds like our kind of party. Penny, what could possibly go wrong? Everything. Captain, absolutely everything, Penny muttered, rubbing her temples. Piffleprat, meanwhile, was meticulously assembling his cultural liaison team, a motley group designed to subtly undermine Finn. Heading this team was Commander Quentung, a fastidious officer known for his impeccable uniform, his obsession with administrative detail, and a general air of disapproving superiority. Quill, Piffleprat noted, was the perfect foil to Finn. He would report every infraction, every deviation from proper protocol. Commander Quill, Piffleprat wheezed, your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to observe O'Malley's handling of the Zanzibrucan delegation, document every cultural misstep, every breach of etiquette, every single instance of O'Malley's uncouth behavior, compile a dossier worthy of Admiral Rogers himself, and, Quill, I want you to know, I have absolute faith in your ability to expose O'Malley for the undisciplined buffoon he truly is. Quill, a man whose spine was so rigid it could have been forged from Admiralty steel, saluted. Understood, Admiral. Consider O'Malley's career terminated. I shall bring order to this chaotic outpost. The Zanzibarican delegation, led by King Zaba Zaba VII, a portly monarch adorned with a feathered headdress and a perpetually bemused expression, arrived in a spectacular, traditional, accompanied by a retinue of brightly painted warriors and 3 extremely energetic royal dancers. Finn O'Malley, dressed in a crisply ironed uniform, stood at attention on the dock with Penny Parker and his crew. Beside them, Commander Quill, looking immaculate, held a clipboard, his pen poised for damning notation. Behind Quill, Piffleprat watched from a specially erected observation platform, a binoculars clutched in his trembling hands, a sardonic grin splitting his face. Greetings, O exalted King Zaba Zaba, Finn boomed, stepping forward, extending a hand. Welcome to Isla Benita, Commander Finn O'Malley, at your service. King Zaba Zaba VII, instead of shaking Finn's hand, instead leaned in close, took a deep breath, and then rubbed his nose against Finn's in a long, drawn-out sniff. This was the traditional Zanzibarucan greeting, the snuffle of friendship. Finn, startled but quick to adapt, returned the sniff. Piffleprat, watching through his binoculars, scribbled furiously. Quill's pen flew across his clipboard. The exchange continued. One of the Zanzibarican warriors, a man named Chief Buck, presented Finn with a chucklefish, a brightly colored, plump fish, that wriggled in Finn's hand. A gift of joy, Commander O'Malley Bakari declared. It is tradition to taste its essence. Finn, seeing the expectation in Bakari's eyes, took a tentative bite. Immediately, an uncontrollable fit of giggles erupted from him. His shoulders shook, his face reddened, and tears streamed down his face. Piffleprat's grin widened, ticking off another cultural faux pas on his mental score. Penny Parker, ever the pragmatic one, quickly took charge. She had studied the Zanzibarucan customs. A magnificent demonstration of joy, Your Majesty. Our Commander O'Malley is deeply touched by your generosity. She quickly removed the fish from Finn's hand. King Zaba Zaba VII smiled, clearly pleased. Indeed, he shares the spirit of Zaba. We bring them as a symbol of peace and prosperity. From the canoe, 2 enormous, but remarkably docile hippos, no bigger than large dogs, waddled onto the dock, snuffling happily. Chaos, as usual, quickly ensued. Piffleprat, watching through his binoculars, missed the sight of one of the pygmy hippos, attracted by the bright red ribbons on Quill's perfectly polished shoes. Take a gentle, inquisitive bite out of the commander's shoe. Quill, startled, tried to maintain his rigid posture, but the persistent hippo began to untie his lace. Finn, still intermittently giggling from the chucklefish, watched the scene with a twinkle in his eye. Penny, our first task, I believe, is to safely house King Zaba Zaba. We'll build him a VIP mud wallow near the freshwater springs. And perk Chester. Gruber, you're on hip. Don't let them wander into the general mess, especially during pudding hour. Remember the time Sydney the alligator got into the fruitcake? The days of the cultural exchange program blurred into a kaleidoscope of comical misunderstandings and near. Finn and his crew navigated the labyrinthine customs of Zanzibarica with their usual unorthodox brilliance. King Zaba Zaba VII, charmed by Finn's genuine warmth and Penny's remarkable competence, declared Finn a man of true spirit, if slightly odd. Commander Quill, however, saw only in. He meticulously documented every dropped ceremonial gourd, every misinterpreted dance move, and every instance of unauthorized fraternization between the crew and the Zanzibarican royal dancers. Piffleprat received daily, damning reports, savoring every word, confident that Finn's downfall was imminent. He's nearly completed the dossier, Carpenter, Piffleprat whispered to Rusty, who now carried a permanent air of existential dread. One more instance of O'Malley's scandalous behavior, and I'll send it directly to Admiral Rogers, a career-ending collection of failures. A new drama was brewing in the humid air of Isla Bonita, the weekly supply run, bringing not just essential goods but also a large contingent of fresh recruits, was due. Among them was Lieutenant Commander Sterling, a crisp, by-the-book officer Piffleprat had personally requested. Sterling was immaculate, efficient, and notoriously smug. He also happened to be Lieutenant Commander Sterling, Carpenter, is a paragon of naval virtue, Piffleprat declared, puffing out his chest to Rusty. He runs a ship like a well-oiled chronometer, not a floating circus. He's here to assist in the final phase of the cultural exchange and, perhaps more importantly, to observe how true naval discipline is enforced. And, O'Malley, if you value what little remains of your career, you will allow Sterling full access to your operations. Finn O'Malley merely inclined his head, a flicker of amusement in his eyes. He knew Sterling's type all too well. Sure enough, Sterling wasted no time in making his presence felt. Commander O'Malley, Sterling began, his voice perfectly more. I believe we should hold a joint naval exercise, a demonstration of modern PT boat tactics, to impress our Zanzibarican guests. Naturally, my new vessel, the Triumphant, I assure you, it'll be a sight to behold, and a stark contrast to your rather rustic craft. Finn merely grinned. A joint exercise, you say? Commander Sterling. Sounds like fun, but perhaps we could raise the stakes a bit. A friendly race. Perhaps. Last one back to base has to scrub every one of King Zaba Zaba VII's pygmy hippos after their mud bath. Personally. Sterling's eyes narrowed. He knew O'Malley's crew had a penchant for unorthodox victories. Very well. Commander O'Malley agreed. May the best crew win, he added, with a condescending smirk, which, naturally, will be mine. The race was set. The Triumphant, sleek and gleaming, was indeed faster than the venerable PT-73. At the helm, executed every maneuver with textbook precision. Finn, meanwhile, steered with an intuitive, almost playful, grace, taking shortcuts through coral reefs that Sterling deemed impassable. Chester O'Malley hung off the side, occasionally shouting directions, or simply encouraging the pygmy hippos, who had decided to hitch a ride on the PT-73, much to Piffleprat's horrified delight, with peanut butter sandwiches. As they rounded the final buoy, the Triumphant was ahead by a mere boat length. Sterling beamed, ready to claim victory, but then, a flash of red. Ginger, who had somehow managed to stow away on the Triumphant, suddenly popped out of the engine room hatch, screaming with delighted laughter. She had, in a fit of playful mischief, released the safety valve on the Triumphant's auxiliary steam pipe, creating a magnificent plume of white steam that temporarily blinded Sterling and slowed his boat. The PT-73, meanwhile, sailed serenely across the finish line, Finn O'Malley saluting nonchalantly, the pygmy hippos grunting approvingly. Sterling, sputtering, and covered in soot, was forced to accept his ignominious defeat. Piffleprat, witnessing this fresh humiliation of his nephew and protege, nearly had another stress-induced attack. Ginger, what is that woman doing on a naval vessel? He shrieked, clutching his throat. O'Malley, you rogue, this is another gross violation of protocol. She will be immediately. But King Zava Zava 7, who had observed the entire race with mounting delight, now clapped his hands with joyous abandon. Magnificent.